Honorable members, we do not have the required numbers, so I'll order the bell to be rung for 10 minutes.
Good morning. You're following up on the National Assembly live proceedings on this Wednesday morning, the date being 17th of November 2021. We are glad you're watching. And currently, as it stands, the House lacks the requisite quorum to proceed with its business this morning. And so the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly has ordered that the bell be rung to allow for more members to access the chamber to allow the House proceed with its business this morning. Pursuant to Standing Orders number 35, subsection 1, this is on the quorum during the House proceedings. Subsection 1 says that if at any time the chair is taken, or when the House is in committee or a member objects that there is no quorum present, then the Speaker or the chairperson shall count members in the House or in the committee as the case may be. If on the count under paragraph 1 quorum has not been achieved or the quorum is not present, the Speaker or the chairperson shall call the division bell to be rung. And if the Speaker is in the chair and the quorum will not have been achieved by the expiration of 10 minutes, then Standing Orders further provide that the Speaker shall adjourn the House until next time when the House will be sitting. And if the House is in the committee, the chairperson shall leave the chair and report the fact to the Speaker, who shall in return adjourn the House until next sitting without the question being put. Whenever the Speaker or the chairperson is engaged in the counting of the House as well as the committee respectively, the doors shall remain closed, but no member shall be allowed to leave the chamber except a party whip, who is permitted to leave the chamber to seek members required to raise the quorum. A lot has been lined up before the floor this morning, and honourable members of the August House will be resuming debate as well as voting on a few bills that are before the floor of the House. The Employment Amendment Bill, Bill number 2, National Assembly Bill number 79 of 2019 by nominated MP Gideon Keter will be voted on. Thereafter, the House shall be moving to the Committee of the Whole, where the committee will be considering the assisted reproductive technology. This is National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2019 by Honorable Milio Thiambo. The Pensions Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2020 by Honorable Didmas Baraza, is currently in its second reading, and so the House will be furthering debate on that particular bill. The Communities Health Workers Bill, National Assembly Bill number 30 of 2020 by Honorable Martin Owino, is a bill set for debate before the floor this morning. Members of the August House will equally be considering the Information Communication Technology and Practitioners Bill. It is a bill from the National Assembly, Bill number 38 of 2020 by Honorable Godfrey Otsotsi. The Pharmacy and Poisons Board, Amendment Bill number 1 of 2021 by Honorable Alfred Keter, will also be deliberated on before the floor this morning. Members of the National Assembly continue streaming into the chamber to allow the House to have the requisite number to commence the business this morning. And you can also follow up on this live broadcast on our YouTube channel, that is on Parliament of Kenya, on the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit handle, as well as on KBC Channel 1. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Orders number 42A, subsection 5, a couple of members of Parliament will be asking questions before the specified departmental committees, and the first member is Honorable Irene Kasalu, member for Kitui County, who will be asking the Cabinet Secretary for Education to provide details. This is on the rolling out and the uptake of adult education program in the country. And could the Cabinet Secretary explain the measures, if any, the ministry has put in place to promote adult education in the country? Further, the member will be seeking to understand the plans that have been put in place to ensure adult education program is sufficiently facilitated. This includes being adequately resourced in terms of funding and matters to do with personnel. Questions by Honorable Kasalu will be replied before the Departmental Committee on Matters Education and Research. Kadhiani MP Honorable Robert Mbui will be asking the Cabinet Secretary for Transport, when is the construction of Mumboni Kathiani Road, this is in Kathiani constituency, which is being upgraded to bitumen standards, scheduled to be completed? And considering the completed sections of the said road have already developed potholes, what steps is the Cabinet Secretary taking to ensure that the road is constructed to the set standards? Questions by member for Kathiani will be replied before the Departmental Committee on Transport, Public Works and Housing. Benjamin Washali, Honorable Member for Mumias East, will be asking the Cabinet Secretary for Transport as well. That noting that the cost of transport and transporting a 20-foot container from the port of Mombasa to the inland container depot in Embakasi, Nairobi County costs around 110,000. Could the Cabinet Secretary explain why the cost of transporting similar goods by road
rang for an extra 5 minutes? That one is always allowed by our standing orders. So an extra 5 minutes.
Of the National Assembly, Honorable Moses Cheboy, has just added some more 5 minutes to allow the House get the requisite number of MPs to conduct its business this morning. And just to proceed with the highlights in the order of business, the Honorable Member for Mumias East, that is Honorable Benjamin Washali, will be asking the Cabinet Secretary for Transport when Kenyans will start benefiting from the advantages of transporting goods through the SGR by way of reduced cost, as well as seamless connections. This is between an inland container depot and the goods' final destinations. Honorable Washali's questions will be replied before the Departmental Committee on Matters Public Transport. Honorable Stanley Mudhama, member for Lamu West, will be asking the Cabinet Secretary for devolution,
so that we can make we can query.
Could the Cabinet
Very good. Okay, honorable members,
measures in place to mitigate the effects of drought facing residents of Lamu West constituency. The quorum has been achieved and are now be handing over to the proceedings of the House this morning.
Order number 2.
Enjoy your viewing and good morning.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers. Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Under this particular order, honorable members, we will start with questions, then go to the second part, which is going to be statement requests. So, to start us off is a member for Kitui County, the Honorable Dr. Kasalu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask question number 166 of 2021 to the Cabinet Secretary for Education. Number 1, could the Cabinet Secretary provide details on the rolling out and uptake of adult education program in the country? Number 2, could the Cabinet Secretary explain the measures, if any, the Ministry has put in place to promote adult education in the country? Number 3, what plans are in place to ensure that adult education program is sufficiently facilitated, including being adequately resourced in terms of funding in personnel? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. That one will be replied to before the Committee on Education and Research. Next is a member for Kadiani, the Honorable Mbui.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask question number 325 of 2021 to the Cabinet Secretary for Transport, Infrastructure, Housing, Urban Development and Public Works. First one, Mr. Speaker, is when is the construction of Mumbuni Kadiani Road in Kadiani constituency, which has been upgraded to bitumen standards, scheduled to be completed? The second part is considering that the sections of the road that have been done have already developed potholes, what steps is the Cabinet Secretary taking to ensure that the road is constructed to the set standards? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, that one will be replied to before the Departmental Committee on Transport, Public Works and Housing. Next is a member for Mumias East, Honorable Asiali.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to ask question number 328 of 2021 to the Cabinet Secretary for Transport, Infrastructure, Housing, Urban Development and Public Works. Roman 1, noting that the cost of transporting a 20-foot container from the port of Mombasa to the inland container depot in Embakasi, Nairobi County, costs about Kenya shillings 110,000. Could the Cabinet Secretary explain why the cost of transporting goods through the standard gauge railway, SGR, is higher compared to the cost of transporting similar goods by road to other premises in Nairobi? Roman 2, could the Cabinet Secretary state when Kenyans will start benefiting from the advantages of transporting goods through the SGR by way of reduced costs and seamless connections between the inland container depots and the goods' final destinations? I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well, and that's the best way to ask questions, so that you don't name them as number 1, 2, and 3. It is Roman 1 and Roman 2, because you are only allowed to ask one question at a time. That one will be replied to before the Departmental Committee on Transport, Public Works and Housing. Next is the member for Lamu West, the Honorable Modama. Question deferred. Member for Rongai, the Honorable Kipruto Moi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I'd like to direct my question to the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and Coordination. Could the Cabinet Secretary provide, Roman numeral 1, could the Cabinet Secretary provide a progress report on the status of investigations into the circumstances that led to the death of one Sergeant Arnold Kipyegon Kenei, police number 2006060448, an administration police officer who was found dead in a Mara Daima estate on 20th February 2020. Roman numeral 2, could the Cabinet Secretary state whether any suspect or suspects have been apprehended or questioned in connection with the death of Sergeant Kenei, and what action has been taken against them? And Roman numeral 3, could the Cabinet Secretary undertake to ensure that the matter is fully investigated with a view to ensuring justice for the victim and compensation made for the family for the life lost of their loved one? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. That one will be replied to before the Departmental Committee on Administration and National Security. Next is the member for Nyaribari Masaba, the Honorable Machogu. Question deferred. The next one is by the Honorable Member for Kamkunji, the Honorable Yusuf Hassan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I raise to ask question number 440/2021 to the Cabinet Secretary for Lands and Physical Planning. Roman 1, what is the status of land parcel LR number 209/21721 currently occupied by Kenyago Kanuku Settlement Scheme, residents in California Ward, Kamkunji constituency? Roman 2, could the Cabinet Secretary explain why there has been an inordinate delays in the issuance of a title deed to the residents of Kenyago Kanuku Settlement Scheme through their registered Kenyago Kanuku Society, considering that the society is in possession of a deed plan LR number 209/21721 and a letter of allotment number SGD/LS/00141202/SMK 2014/ZNR, issued by the Nairobi County Government on the 3rd of December 2014, and who have paid all the requisite fees for processing an acquisition of the title deed on the 23rd of October 2018. Roman 3, when will a valid title deed for land parcel LR 209/21721 be issued to the resident of the Kinyago Kanuku settlement scheme through the Kinyago Kanuku Society, considering the lack of a title deed has denied them access to vital land rights, making their occupation insecure, unstable, vulnerable to disputes and dispossession? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. That one will be replied to before the Departmental Committee on Lands. That marks the end of our question time because the Honorable Beatrice Nyaga had made a request, which I accept, to have her question deferred. So we go to the next segment, which is the statement request by members, and we'll start with the Honorable Rashid Amin, member for Wajir East.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My statements this morning is in regards to requests for statements regarding the ongoing recruitment exercise of the Kenya Defence Forces in the country. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 42C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairpersons of the Departmental Committee on Defense and Foreign Relations regarding the ongoing recruitment exercise of the Kenya Defence Forces in the country, particularly recruitment in Wajir East constituency. Honorable Speaker, the Vice Chair of the Defence Forces had launched the 2021 Kenya Defence Forces KDF nationwide field recruitment drive to take place in 327 gazetted sub-counties across the 47 counties. The Kenya Defence Forces announced to the public the recruitment of the General Service Officers, the cadets, the General Service Officers GSO, cadets, that is for the undergraduate and degree holders, specialized officers, the general duty recruits, and tradesmen, women, and the Defence Forces constables, which was scheduled to take place in the month of February 2021. Honorable Speaker, during the launch, the Vice Chair of the Defence Forces, Lieutenant General Francis Ogola, warned Kenyans to be cautious of con men, women masquerading as Kenya Defence Forces officers soliciting bribes, and issuing fraudulent calling letters. Further, the public was informed that KDF is playing a role in combating the vice, that the service personnel who were involved in the recruitment malpractices are facing court-martials, and the due process will be followed. However, in Wajir East Recruitment Center, which is a cosmopolitan town, 6 young men and 1 young lady who come from the same sub-clan were recruited, denying equal opportunity to qualified youth from other communities and clans in the area. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I seek statement from the chairpersons of the Departmental Committee on Defense and Foreign Relations on the following. 1. Could the chairperson explain why different communities in Wajir East Recruitment Center were denied equal opportunities in the recruitment exercise? 2. Could the chairperson explain the criteria used to select, recruit the 6 youth and young men and women? 3. Could the chairperson explain plans put in place by the ministry to establish whether the due process was followed? 4. Could the chairperson explain measures put in place by the ministry to ensure that all communities, clans in the said area are accorded slots and equal opportunity in the Defense Forces recruitment exercise? I thank you, Honorable Speaker, Hon Rashid Amin, MP Wajir East constituency. Thank you very much.
Very well. That will be referred to the relevant committee, which is the Defense and Foreign Relations. The next one is the Honorable Safia Sheikh Adan. And you have been extremely active lately with questions and statements and
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries regarding provision and sourcing for markets for livestock and livestock products, both locally and internationally. Honorable Speaker, pastoralists contribute to over 20% of Kenyans' gross domestic products through sale of livestock and livestock products. However, the full potential of the livestock sector in the pastoralist community is yet to be realized due to undeveloped market and limited access to local and international market by pastoralists. Honorable Speaker, it is against the background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Department Committee of Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries as following. 1. Could the chairperson explain what plans the ministry has put in place to invest more in the booming livestock sectors in Marsabit County, which will then add the amount of revenue collected by the government, reduce poverty level of livestock farmers and their families, and in general, better service delivery to Kenyans with more taxes collected? 2, what measure has the ministry put in place to ensure that livestock farmers in pastoralist communities get fair market to sell their livestock at competitive prices when the season is still good, to reduce the cattle wrestling and quick sale of livestock during drought at throwaway price? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. That one will be also referred to the relevant committee, which is the Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock. That marks the end of our order number 7. This is statement, Honorable Sankok. It's the petitions that we allow you to ventilate. This one, if you are interested, you should go to the relevant committee when the statement is being processed. I think you can have it there. And also, you will have an opportunity when it will be replied to, in terms of when the statement is made back in the House. So you will have time. So then we go to the next order.
Order number 8, the Employment Amendment number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill number 79 of 2019, second reading. Question to be put.
Well, I am going to defer the putting of the question until the next opportunity, the next available opportunity. So we go to the next order.
Order number 9, Committee of the Whole House. Members, can you resume your seats? Order members, we in the committee of the whole house on the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2019. We can start.
Clause 3.
I propose a question which is that clause 3 be part of the bill. We have a proposed amendment by the Honorable Jennifer Shamala. Please move your proposed amendment. Yes, Honorable Emilio Odhiambo, before the proposed amendment by Honorable Shamala.
Chair, I'm just requesting if I can be given the hard copy to enable me follow.
The hard copy?
Yeah, to enable me follow.
Very well. So ordered from the right desk that if you can have some hard copies, can be supplied to Honorable Emilio Odhiambo 001. Of course, with the information and fact that we have our computers. So I propose the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. Honorable Shamala, you were moving your proposed amendment.
Thank you, Chair. I was moving my proposed amendment on clause 2.
Clause 3.
Is this the proposed amendment on the definitions of a couple? Okay, sorry, I beg your pardon. On clause?
You are moving your proposed amendment. We are starting with clause 3.
Clause 3 is. Do you have it there? Yes, can you show me on the order paper? Sorry? 1474. Yes, thank you, Chair.
Honorable Emilio Odhiambo, we have already ordered that we get some hard copies for the members. Yes, Honorable Emilio Odhiambo.
Sorry, Chair, just a matter of procedure. No, sorry. I think it's because you are talking about definition. And I was just wondering, because when the committee has an amendment, then the committee amendment should be coming prior to that of Jennifer. But I've just realized that
you have realized
she was speaking in regard to clause 3, not 2.
So you are now it's in order. Very well. Yes, Honorable Shamala, please.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I beg to move that clause 3 in the bill be amended by deleting clause 3 and inserting the following new clause. That this act applies to all processes of facilitated human fertilization undertaken through insemination in or outside the body. The reason being, Chair, is that because we must understand and appreciate that the preamble of our Constitution acknowledges the Almighty as the Creator, and at every stage we must acknowledge that the processes of fertilization, whether inside or outside, are not a process of evolution, but really a stage of conception.
Very well. With that import, honourable members, I propose a question, which is that the clause 3 be amended as proposed by Honourable Shamala. Then I moved. There's no Honourable Millie, please. There's none. We are getting to that level. Yes. So I see no interest. Honourable Ola Sangoko, you want to speak to this? Very well. Then I move to put a question, which is that clause 3 be amended as proposed by Honourable Shamala. Yeah, these are that I've written Shamala. Shamala. Will as many as of these opinions say aye? And as many as of contrary opinions say nay? The ayes have it. I put a question, which is that clause 3 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? And as many as of contrary opinion say nay? And pass the ayes have it. Next.
Part 2.
I propose a question, which is that part 2. Honourable Millie.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, that's why I was actually asking that we have clause 3A that was being proposed by the committee.
It is, Honourable Millie Odhiambo, so that we don't waste time on this, it's a new clause. And we have been here for long. It's a new clause. Of course, it will also be read for a second time.
There's in substantive ones you normally...
Yes, I can see the interest that you have. But that one you are proposing, and of course, just for your satisfaction, it's a new clause, which as a matter of procedure, will still move at one point to the new clause. Yes, for your satisfaction, thank you. I propose a question, which is that part 2 be part of the bill. We have a proposed amendment to the same by Chairperson of the Health Committee. Please move your proposed amendment. Chairperson of the Health Committee.
That is clause 4, right?
Part 2.
Part 2, the bill be amended by deleting the word authority appearing in the heading part 2 and substituting therefore the word directorate. Yeah, that is basically the reason that actually an authority would mean establishing a completely new institution, while a directorate would be part of the structures that already exist.
Very well. With that, I propose a question, which is that part 2 be amended as proposed by the Honourable Nyikal. I put a question, which is part 2 be amended as proposed by Honourable Nyikal. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. And as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put a question, which is that part 2 as amended be part of the bill. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. And as many as of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next clause.
Clause 4.
I propose a question, which is that clause 4 be part of the bill. We have a proposed amendment by Honourable Shamala and the committee. So I start with the committee. The committee should start. And members, if the chairperson's amendment is carried, then Honourable Shamala's amendment will fall automatically. So we are starting with the committee, chairperson of the committee.
That clause 4, the bill be amended by deleting clause 4 and substituting therefore the following, which is that subject to section 18 of the Health Act 2017, the Cabinet shall form a directorate to be known as the Assisted Reproductive Technology Directorate. It is in consequence of what you have just said that if it's a directorate, it is still within the existing structure. So it's actually in line with part 2 that we have just passed.
Then with that, honorable members, I propose the question which is at clause 4 be amended as proposed by Honorable Nikal for the committee. I put the question which is at clause 4 be amended as proposed by Honorable Nikal for the committee. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. And as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. With that, the proposed amendment by Honorable Shamala falls automatically. I put the question which is at clause 4 as amended be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. And as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next.
Clause 5.
I propose the question which is at clause 5 be part of the bill. Now, members, we have a proposed amendment again by the committee and also by Honorable Shamala. Committee.
Chair, that clause 5 of the bill be amended in A, in the perfunctory statement by deleting the word authority and substituting therefore the word directorate, which again as the same is consequential to what you have done before. B, in paragraph C, by deleting the words undertake research, substituting therefore with the words promote research, because there are institutions that do research. What the directorate will do is just promote research. And by inserting the following new paragraph immediately after paragraph C. Basically, the whole of this is actually to introduce the county governments and the various departments, the educational departments and relevant government agencies. The whole essence of this, Speaker, Madam Chair, is that this is going to be actually a very comprehensive new law that has to work with all agencies that are listed under that amendment, clause 5.
With that, I propose the question, which is a clause 5, be amended as proposed by the Honorable Nyikal for the committee. Honorable Sankok.
I do support the proposed amendment, especially on clause 5, paragraph B. In paragraph B, and by deleting the word undertake research, it's actually B, undertake research, and substituting therefore with words promote research. Honorable Chair, there will be so many players who will be undertaking the research, and when we put the directorate to be the one undertaking the research, then we are kind of demeaning the other players who may be taking research, even individuals. So this one is a very, very important. And I think, Millie Udhiambo, even though today you have put on yellow, I don't know if my eyes are well, if it is yellow or what. But this one is very important. We have to support this one so that we can open the field for other researchers and other scientists to come in and promote this one.
Okay. So the yellow may not come in here. Honorable Sankok, always relevance. This is a very important stage of the bill. The Honorable Millie, the other member Subanoth, you want to make a comment?
Yes, Chair, I support.
You support.
Actually, that's one of the things that I had flagged to understand why they were removing undertake to promote, but I think Honorable Nyikal has explained it very well. But I just want to tell Sankok, I know men are colorblind. This is lime. It is not yellow.
Very well. It is not yellow, it is lime. But let's not bring such debates. The Honorable, we are going to lose the track of the business. Members, I put the question, which is at clause 5, be amended as proposed by the Honorable Nyikal. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. And as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. With that one being carried on, members, that is the amendment by the chairperson. Then the amendment, proposed amendment by the Honorable Shamala, again falls automatically. I put the question, which is that clause 5, as amended, be part of the bill. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it. Next clause.
Clause 6.
I propose the question which is at clause 6 be part of the bill. A proposed amendment again by the committee and also by the Honorable Shamala. We start with the chairperson of the committee.
Chair, that the bill be amended by deleting clause 6 and inserting therefore the following new clause. The responsibility of the naval government shall be to put in place necessary mechanisms and infrastructure to ensure access to the highest level, to provide adequate resources, as in the order paper, to provide regulations and to collaborate with the county government. The whole essence of this, as we have said, this bill, when it becomes an act and that directorate is created, will require a lot of infrastructure to be put in place, a lot of funding to be given for it if it is to work properly, and to provide regulations, because very many people will be undertaking these processes which are very sensitive, and therefore it is important that we have regulations, it is provided with resources, it has infrastructure, and more importantly in the chair is to collaborate with the county government, because some of the institutions that will be undertaking this are actually within the county. So that link is extremely important.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very well, with that important, members, I propose a question which is at clause 6 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Nyikal. The first one is the Honorable Millie Odhiambo.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, let me take this opportunity to thank the committee for that very, very good amendment. And Chair, I think for those who are not usually here, I've seen some members when they bring bills and people amend, they get offended. But the essence of this stage is to actually strengthen the bill. I'm the proposer and I'm very happy with the amendments that have been brought by the committee. And like this one, it enhances cost effectiveness and it ensures accessibility and it removes the penalization of motherhood. Because people make it look like when you want to be a mother, it should be a punitive thing. But we should make motherhood easy, even for women who do not have children easily. So we are giving the responsibility to the county governments and to the national government to make it cost effective, because, Madam Speaker, I've spoken to women who have gone assisted reproduction even 6 times at a cost of 1 million per process. That is 6 million. Others are building houses. You are trying to have a child at 6 million. It should not be punitive having a child.
Very well.
So I thank the committee.
Very well. You support?
I support.
You support. Let me have the member for Kiminini, Honorable Wakungu Wamalo.
Thank you. Just a comment on the same. Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I've been following. The unfortunate thing I have with the Honorable Nyikals, Honorable Nyikal had mentioned that the national government shall put regulations. And I've been going through the order paper to see where it's indicating the regulations. I'm not seeing. I don't know, maybe have a different paper or what. Where? Number? It is 6 what? Is it A, B, C? Yeah, okay, thank you, I've seen it.
Very well. Then with that, do you support or you just wanted to inform at least now you've confirmed? Let me have the member from Ndiwa before I put the question.
Thank you, Chair. Briefly, the issue of regulation is very important because this is legislation, it has to be dedicated to be implemented. And the people who are going to implement it are the county government. And this is the most important part, that it is going to be expanded for any mama who want to be, not only the rich ones. I support.
You support. The last one is the minority whip. Honorable Wangwe, Emmanuel.
Thank you, Chair. Majority whip.
Majority whip, sorry. Majority.
Chair, it's just not only regulations
yes.
for this matter, but also the committee, as I support this amendment, Chair, has emphasized that it will be towards the health insurance provider, NHIF. That is a very good point, Honorable Chair, which you cannot go unnoticed, because it will help the entire country, entire population, and also, Chair, work in tandem with the Insurance NHIF Act, which we just passed in the House. Thank you, Chair.
Very well. With that, I move to put the question, which is at clause 6 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Nyikal for the committee. As many as have that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes it. Again, with the proposed amendment by the Honorable Shamal, again, it falls automatically now that this of the chairperson has been carried. I move to put the global question, which is that clause 6, as amended, be part of the bill. Honourable members, as many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Yes.
Clause 7.
I propose a question, which is that clause 7 be part of the bill. We also have a proposed amendment again by the chairperson and also Honorable Shamala, the chairperson.
Basically, initially, or let's say that the bill be amended by deleting clause 7 and inserting the following new clauses. 7, each county government shall collaborate with the national government, allocate in the county budget the funds necessary, basically as in there, procure sufficient equipment, carry out sensitization and program. That is what we are bringing in, but what is being removed basically was the structure of the authority, and now having removed the authority, it's no longer necessary. What has been substituted, therefore, is the responsibility of the county government in the implementation of this bill when it becomes an act.
Very well. With that, members, I propose the question, which is that clause 7 be amended as proposed by Honorable Nyikal. Honorable Suba North, member.
Thank you, Chair. Let me also take this opportunity to thank the committee. Again, this is a very, very strong and good amendment. They are providing a framework which is higher than the International Covenant on Economic and Social and Cultural Rights. They are providing a framework which is stronger than the African the African Commission on Human Rights and the Abuja Declaration. Because, Chair, what we normally do is we provide for laws without budgets. What the committee is proposing is a strong budgetary allocation by the counties so that we can hold the counties accountable. I think these are excellent amendments, and I thank the committee.
Very well. I see no interest to speak to this, and that's a good comment. I move to put the question, which is that clause 7 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Nyikal for the committee. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the question, which is that clause 7 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it. Next.
Clause 8.
Members, I propose the question, which is a clause 8 be part of the bill. There's a proposed deletion amendment, of course, in terms of deletion by the chairperson of the Health Committee and also by Honorable Shamala. Chairperson?
This is basically consequential to the fact that now we don't have an authority, so clause 8 was referring to the chairperson of the authority. So the bill is amended by deleting clause 8. The rationale is because clause 8 was referring to the authority, now that does not exist.
Very well. I propose the question, which is that clause 8 be deleted as proposed by the Honorable Nyikal. I put the question, or members, I put the question, which is that clause 8 be deleted. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next.
Clause 9.
I propose the question, which is a clause 9 be part of the bill. Proposed amendment by the chairperson of the committee. Again, it's a deletion.
Same. The proposed that clause 9 of the bill be amended by deleting clause 9. Placing that same clause again is exactly the same reason, because in the bill it was the conduct and regulation and the business of the board. Now the board doesn't exist, so that has to go.
With the non-access of the board. Honourable members, before I put the question, I propose the question, which is that clause 9 be deleted as proposed by Honourable Nyikal. Here I put the question, members, and as I put the question, we still had another proposed amendment, the Honorable Shamala, and in the event that the chairperson's amendment is carried, since they have the same effect with the Honorable Shamala's proposed amendment, which is deletion, then it will be carried. So I put the question, which is that clause 9 be deleted as proposed by the chairperson. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The members of the ayes have it. Next.
Clause 10.
I propose the question, which is that clause 10 be part of the bill. We have a proposed deletion, proposed amendment in terms of deletion by the chairperson again,
Chair,
Honorable Shamala.
The reason is exactly the same, that the bill be amended by deleting clause 10.
Having the same effect with the Honorable Shamala. Yes, point of order, Honorable Amala.
This is the next one.
Use the next mic so that we move faster.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Thank you. I've been listening carefully on Honorable Nikal's justification, and the justification are the same on clause 8, clause 9, clause 10. So I was wondering, in terms of drafting, how can, unless you clarify further, that maybe as per this context, you contextualize that this clause, even if they are referring to the issue of the authority, but I'm sure it can be in a different context, because there's no way you can have similar justifications, clause 8, 9, 10. So you go further, maybe it was a different context, but it's referring to the authority, to be able to differentiate, because from his justification, it shows there was a repetition, that clause 8, clause 9, clause 10 was the same. Maybe it was referring to the same thing, authority, but in terms of context. So in terms of contextualization, obviously it's different. So you go further so that it doesn't give an impression that there was that repetition of the clauses 8, 9, 10 to have been the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chris Wamala. With that, Honorable, for satisfaction, Honorable Chris Wamala, maybe other members of the House, please just.
Chair, I think Honorable Chris Wamala has a point, and if you then look, it means we then go into the details, like the bill be amended by deleting clause 10, and the reason for that, in the Act, it was the directory, it was an authority, and authority at the board. And what clause 10 was saying was the functions of the board shall be to formulate policy for the authority, carry out.
Let him finish, and I get back to you, Honorable Millie, please.
Yeah, to provide and carry out objects of the functions and so on. That was then the purpose of that clause 10. Now, if you do not have that authority and you do not have its board, then you don't have a board you don't need the board to do those things. I think basically that is.
Okay. Yeah. Let me hear from Honorable Millie Odhiambo on the same.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, this one is just in response to what Honorable Chris Wamala has raised, because this is actually going to go throughout the entire bill. I had proposed an authority. The committee has removed an authority and replaced it with a directorate. So what is going to happen is wherever there is the mention of the word authority, it will be replaced by the word directorate.
In your proposed amendment?
From the committee.
Okay.
So if it wants just the fact that in legal or in legislative drafting, we have to go through them one by one. If it was a computer, we'd have just said, look for authority and replace with directorate. But because we can't do that, but we already understand,
yes,
and to save on time, yes, that's why you see we are not even commenting, we are just agreeing.
Correct, because we must go clause by clause.
Yes.
It is the procedure. Very true. The last comment by Honorable Makali. Honorable Makali, I cannot see your... Yes, now I can see. Please, a comment.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. You know, Madam Chair, I think the issue being raised is quite an important issue, and it's something I always wonder whether, as a House, and maybe the legal minds can help us. Because even when we are changing the word minister to a cabinet secretary, it's the same thing. You have a whole bill where you have to sit here to say change minister to cabinet secretary, and you have 30, 40 clauses. Is there no other way? Are we saying this legal profession doesn't have innovation? I think
Honorable Makali, let me just help you on this.
You need to be more innovative with the legal profession.
That's why we have our standing orders. So unless it's changing our standing orders, we must go clause by clause, because every clause matters. Deleting clause 10 and deleting clause 9, there are two different issues, because the clause was there and we cannot assume that we did not have a clause 9. This one can only be done when there was rules and procedure. You can look at it but then if it's not already in our standing orders, we must follow the procedure that we have for the House. Also with that, honourable members, I put the question which is that clause 10 be deleted as proposed by the Honourable Nikal. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? And as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? Yes, it's Honourable Shamalas, you had the same effect, and so yours also dropped. Next clause.
Clause 11.
I propose a question which is that clause 11 be part of the bill. Yes, we can move faster now that we understand with the input of the members and understanding.
Yes, it is basically the same that clause 11, the amendment is that clause 11 be deleted. And the reason is the same. Again, we were talking about directorate, and the directorate is supposed to appoint the director and appoint ex officio members if it doesn't exist.
Okay. So with that, with the same effect of the proposed amendment or deletion by Honorable Shamala, if it is carried, then yours will follow automatically. I move to put the question, which is that clause 11 be deleted as proposed by the chairperson. As many as have that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 12.
Again, the same. I propose a question which is a clause 12 be part of the bill. Your proposed amendment?
Chair, clause 12, the proposes that the bill be amended by deleting clause 12 and substituting therefore the following. Clause 12.1, the directorate shall consist of director, such staff as the cabinet secretary may, in consultation with the director, consider necessary for the performance of the directorate. 2, the director and staff of the directorate shall be competitively recruited and appointed on such terms and conditions as the cabinet secretary shall, in consultation with the Service and Review Commission, determine. Now we are not merely deleting, because even if we have removed the authority and we have created a directorate, the directorate will need staff. So what 12 was doing was saying what the authority will do to get the staff. Now we have to change the wording, because who is to the department, or now the cabinet secretary will now be in charge, and therefore will be recruiting the staff for that directorate.
With that import, I propose a question which is that clause 12 be amended as proposed by the Honourable Nikal. Any interest to speak to this? I move to put the question which is that clause 12 be amended as proposed by the Honourable Nikal. As many as have that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Members, we had a proposed amendment by Honourable Shamala. Yours was a proposed deletion, but now that the Honourable Chairperson's amendment has been carried, then yours falls automatically. Then I move to put the question, which is a clause 12 as amended be part of the bill. Members, as many as have that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 13.
I propose a question which is that clause 13 be part of the bill. Proposed amendment by the chairperson. Let us move fast a bit, members.
The same, basically we have the same reason, and the amendment is that the bill be amended by deleting clause 13 and substituting therefore the following. The directorate may engage experts or consultations as it considers appropriate. Again, it's the same thing. Before it was to be done by the authority, now it is being done by a department. So the wordings are to be appropriate.
Very well. With that input, members, I propose the question, which is that clause 13 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Nyikal. I move to put the question, which is that clause 13 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Nyikal. Members, as many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Shamala's proposed amendment deletion falls again automatically. I move to put the global question, which is that clause 13 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it.
Clause 14.
I propose a question, which is that clause 14 be part of the bill. Chairperson, move your proposed amendment.
The proposed amendment for clause 14, that the clause be deleted. Again, is exactly the same question. It was payment of the staff by the authority. Now it's not necessary because the authority doesn't exist.
The authority doesn't exist. Members, with that import, I propose the question, which is that clause 14 be deleted as proposed by the chairperson, Honorable Nyikal. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Shamala's proposed amendment deletion again, which have the same effect, falls automatically. Next clause.
Clause 15.
I propose the question, which is clause 15 be part of the bill. Honorable Nyikal.
The proposal, the bill be amended by deleting clause 15, and again is because we have removed the authority. Initially, it was the authority would hire experts. Again, for the same reason, now they can't. So it will go back to the directorate.
Very well. I propose the question, which is that clause 15 be deleted, as proposed by the chairperson. I move to put the question, which is that, and as I move to move the question, the Honorable Chair Shamala, again, you had a proposed amendment on the same, which have the same effect. So if the one the committee be carried, yours will still follow automatically. I put the question, which is that clause 15 be deleted as proposed by the chairperson. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next clause.
Clause 16.
I propose the question, which is clause 16 be part of the bill. No? Yes. And we have a proposed amendment by the chair.
Chair, again, it's the same. This clause 16 be amended by deleting that clause, and the reason is, again, we have removed the authority, and it was that was talking of the responsibility of the members of the board of that authority. So yeah, so now that the authority doesn't exist, we don't need it.
Again, we still have also a proposed amendment by Honorable Shamala, which has the same effect. So in the event that we carry the committee's amendment of deletion, then the Honorable Shamala's amendment proposed one will fall. I move to put the question, which is that clause 16 be deleted as proposed by the chairperson. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as are contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 17.
I propose the question, which is that clause 17 be part of the bill. There's a proposed deletion again. Chairperson, move faster.
Again, this clause 17 is to be amended by deleting the same clause. In the bill, it was referring to the seal of the authority. The authority doesn't exist. It has no seal. It can't have a seal, so it needs to be deleted.
Needs to be deleted. With that understanding, members, I propose the question, which is that clause 17 be deleted as proposed by the chair. I move to put the question, which is that clause 17 be deleted as proposed by the chair. Members, as many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Shamala's proposed amendment, which has the same effect, falls again automatically. Next clause.
Clause 18.
I propose the question, which is a clause 18, be part of the bill. Here we have amendment by now, Honorable Shamala.
Yes.
Your proposed amendment on clause 18.
Thank you, Chair. The proposed amendment in clause 18 seeks to bring clarity. In fact, there's a spelling mistake. It is not a person shall not create or keep or use a human being, but a human embryo at any stage or development. And the reason, Honorable Chair, is that it brings clarity to the first 2 weeks of human development after fertilization, conception, and which is called the germinal stage. The third week is throughout the third week throughout to the 8th week is what is known as the embryonic stage. And the time from the 9th week until birth is known as the fetal stage. So it simply enhances the definitions in this particular clause 19, which would have left it very open-ended with just, in my considered opinion, if we just said a person shall not create and keep.
Okay. With that, members, I propose the question, which is that clause 18 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Shamala. Kali Mulu, Honorable, your comment? Dr.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chairperson. I think really I want to support that amendment for Chairperson, because, you know, from the way Honorable Shamala is explaining it, she seems to be an expert on those matters. So really, I want to support it. I think that depreciation of the terminologies is very, very important.
Okay. Honorable Billy, you have a comment on this?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, unfortunately, I do not support this. If you look at the definition in the Act, it says a person shall not create, keep, or use an embryo except as provided under this Act. And the Act provides very clear ways of doing that. But when you look at the proposed amendment by Honorable Shamala, it says a person shall not create, keep, or use human embryo at any stage of development, either from fertilization or conception, until a transfer to a woman, except, oh, sorry, I thought she missed the except as provided under this Act. That's okay.
Very well.
Then I support.
So now you support.
Then
Members,
I support.
Very well. It's good for us to at least to make decisions from informed points. Members, I move to put the question on clause 18, which is a clause 18 be amended as proposed by Honorable Shamala. I put the question that clause, will as many as of this opinion say aye? And as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I put the question, which is that clause 18 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Shamala. Members, as many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 19.
Clause 19, Honourable Members, I propose the question, which is that clause 19 be part of the bill. We have a proposed amendment by the chairperson of the committee.
Chair.
And also Shamala.
Chair, the proposal is that clause 19 of the bill be amended by 1, renumbering the existing provision subclause 1 and inserting the following new subclause immediately after the subclause 1, which is now 2. A person who contravenes the provisions of this section commits an offense and shall upon conviction be liable to a fine not exceeding 5 million shillings or to imprisonment for a term.
Honorable, maybe as you make
and the order paper.
Summarize, yes. Always summarize, because I had already before ordered that every member gets a hard copy.
Okay, so basically what is happening here, clause 19 as it was prohibiting the use of assistive reproductive technology, but we are now adding a sanction for that. It was just prohibiting, you shall not do, but now we are saying what happens to you if you do, and that is what becomes number 2, and that's the essence of the amendment.
That is the essence of the amendment. With that, Honourable Members, I propose the question, which is at clause 19 be amended as proposed by the Honourable Nyikal, and of course as it is in the order paper. I put the question, which is at clause 19, be amended as proposed by the Honorable Nyikal. Members, as many as of that opinion say aye. And as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. And now, with that, we heard the proposed amendment by Shamala. It has already followed automatically. And I therefore move to put the question, which is that clause 19, as amended, be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? And as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 20.
I propose the question, which is that clause 20 be part of the bill. Proposed amendment by the chair.
The amendment is that
Honorable.
clause 20 be amended by renumbering the existing provision and inserting the following new subclause as in the order paper. It's exactly the same reason. In the number 20 in the bill was prohibiting what not to be done. And now the second bit that is being added is giving a sanction what happens to you if you do.
If you do. With that, members, I propose a question, which is that clause 20 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Nyikal. I put the question, which is that clause 20 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Nyikal. As many as of that opinion say aye. And as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. For record purpose, the Honorable Shamala's proposed amended also falls automatically now that we have carried the committee amendment. I put the global question, which is that clause 20, as amended, be part of the bill. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 21.
I propose the question, which is that clause 21 be part of the bill. Proposed deletion by the chairperson.
The proposal is that the bill be amended by deleting clause 21, and the reason is that if those who have the bill, what is being proposed is actually taken care of in 23. So it was basically a repetition. Because if you look at 23A, it is exactly what is in 21.
I can hear the amber from far, though she's not represented here. Then I move to put the question, with no interest of member to contribute to this, that clause 21 be deleted as proposed by the Honorable Nyikal. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 22.
I propose the question, which is a clause 22 be part of the bill. Proposed amendment by the chairperson for the committee.
Let me just pick 22. Yeah. The proposal is that clause 22 of the bill be amended by deleting the words a medical doctor and substituting therefore words assisted reproductive technology expert. In this area, some people who are not registered as doctors may acquire qualifications and expertise that may get them involved in this. So if you then restrict it to a medical doctor, you rule those people out while they be necessary. That is the essence of that amendment.
That is the essence of that amendment. You want to make a comment on this? Honorable Chris Amala? Or before you make an, I must propose it so that it becomes an asset of the House. Honorable Sankok. Yeah, Honorable Chris Wamala is in order. I propose the question, which is clause 22 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Nyikal. Yes, Honorable Chris Wamala now.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You know, this bill we discussed with the Honorable Mili, and I had my concerns, particularly from the church perspective. And you agreed very well that it's true we are here to legislate, and there are those particular issues, the controversial ones, that we try as much as possible to harmonize. I'm a bit worried when we replace medical doctor with assisted reproductive technology expert, because a medical doctor is somebody who is registered. And the moment we change this to assisted reproductive technology, which does not exist at the moment, and we might be opening a Pandora's box for many other people who might come out do these things fraudulently. We know what has been happening. You might find even a nurse, a lab technician, because really when you look at the curriculum, we don't have it yet established. So how I wish that because of the sensitivity of the matter, we don't open a Pandora's box for the quacks. That Honorable Nikal, we leave it to a medical doctor, because this bill has been very, very controversial. Millie knows the journey we've gone through. But when we go and mutilate it further and bring in this assisted reproductive technology, you know, it can be a nurse, it can be a lab technician, it can be any quack, by the way. This is a very sensitive area. So how I wish that we agree and just leave it to a medical doctor, so that we are assured that we will not open a Pandora's box for the quacks to come in. Looking at the sensitivity of the bill, the journey that we've traveled, it never started today. It started in the last parliament. It has been introduced many times. So that is my concern.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me hear from Honorable Millie. Just a comment. I know Chair Azad.
Chair, I hear the concerns by Honorable Wamalwa, but if you actually look at the further proposed amendments by the committee, they actually seal those loopholes, because I'm also part of the church, so I'm very careful about what the things that we do to seal the loopholes of concern. But either way, even if we put medical doctor, it's still okay, except that when you provide for technicians as provided by the committee, it means that in areas where there are no doctors, I'll give you an example in my constituency. With a population of over 200,000, we have 2 medical doctors. So if you have to wait sometimes to get those kind of services, it becomes very, very difficult, especially for rural areas. A lot of rural areas are served by nurses who have actually expertise, by clinical officers who have expertise, so long as they are qualified as such. But either way, I'm okay, whether it's medical or
Let me hear from Sankok. Honorable.
Thank you very much, Chair. And this is a very sensitive area, Chair. But Honorable Dr. Nikal, what he was trying to explain is that for you to be able to be an assistive reproductive technology expert, you must have undergone a further training. And of course, for you to undergo a further training, even if you are a medical doctor, even if you are a nurse, even if you are a physiologist, you must undergo a specialized training for you to become an expert in this area. And in the qualification of for you to be an expert, I'm sure they will be set for you to be able to be an expert, and quacks will not come in. And the qualification may be if you have a diploma in clinical medicine, if you have a degree in medicine, if you have a degree in a Bachelor of Science in nursing, if you have a degree in physiology, then or biochemistry, then you can qualify to train. So I think we are quite in order.
Let me have the member for North Imenti.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I agree with the committee, and I want to ask Dr. Wamalwa to think if we can probably put the qualification for the expert a bar, so that it even covers what he is talking about. So, Madam Chair, I agree with the committee.
Kabuchai, just a comment.
Yeah, Madam Chair, thank you. I'm also concerned, Madam Chair, about this where we have doctors. Doctors, Madam Chair, it's a profession that has undergone an oath to do the right job. Madam Chair, if we leave this to any actor, that is where, when my respected Honorable Millie has just said it here, that where she might be coming from, she has short of doctors. And that is, Madam Chair, the same reason why we are concerned. If we can get them now professionally for where she is, let's equip this, and the purpose of this bill is to equip with the professionals in space. Madam Chair, I think with the doctors, they should be the main actors in this one. I'm concerned, and I agree with Dr. Mola, Madam Speaker. Madam Chair, thank you.
Thank you. Before I put the question to the House, can I have the member, Nafakolo? Honorable?
Thank you, Chair.
Majority Whip.
I want to walk in the footsteps of Dr. Wamalwa, where, Honorable Chair, the issue of, we don't have today any expert qualifications for an assisted reproductive technician. So we are talking about somebody who does not exist in law. Therefore, in my view, it is something that we can go by and say now that the owner of the bill is comfortable with either way. I wouldn't mind us going the way Dr. Amala is suggesting by just leaving it to the doctors, medical doctors, so that they perform their duties.
Okay, before I give the chair just to make a clarification, let me have the member from Diwa.
Thank you, Chair. As it is now,
yes,
the doctor's patient's ratio is 16,000 to 1 doctor in Kenya. And we cannot market what we cannot supply. All healthcare professionals can do the job and they take oaths. This is clinical officers, nurses, some have PhDs. So what we are trying to say here is those who have taken expertise in the in vitro. So saying a doctor only is like killing this bill. It will not work.
Okay. This is a house of, now you'll have to take your, vote. But Honorable Shamala, just a comment.
Yes.
Then I give you the chair to clarify.
Thank you, Chair. I want to associate myself with the comments expressed by Honorable Chris Wamalwa and our Majority Whip, Honorable Wangwe. It is absolutely correct that at this point, an assisted reproductive technology assistant, we're not sure what it is. And in as much as I appreciate the fact and acknowledge Honorable Millie's contribution, and she is right, that you don't have doctors at every level of this country and in every part and corner of this republic. However, it is crucial because we do not know what an assisted reproductive technology assistant is, that the same be certified by a medical doctor who has indeed taken an oath.
Point taken. Now, with that, please, Chair, clarify, and then I'll be able to move to put the question.
There are two issues that are being actually discussed. One is the person who is doing it. Two is the person who is being done on. Now, really, maybe the first explanation was not very clear, is that the certification by a medical doctor is that the person who requires assisted reproductive technology does require it on medical grounds and no other grounds. And I would say this, really, that if the mover of the proposer of the bill is happy, I also would say that the committee would say we leave it as it is in the bill, which then I would say we withdraw that. No.
So, honourable members, I will not be able to put the question the same. Now that the committee, that is the chairperson, has withdrawn is proposed amendment. Then now for this matter, I welcome the proposed amendment by the Honorable Shamala on clause 22. Move your proposed amendment.
Thank you, Chair. My proposed amendment is that a person, again there was a spelling mistake with an infertile, it's an infertile, a person qualifies to undertake assisted reproductive technology where it is certified by a medical doctor and the couple requires assisted reproductive technology on medical grounds. There's going to be an issue with the
justification, just the first one.
My justification, Chair, is, as stated earlier, as stated by Honorable Chris Wamalwa, as we talk today in Kenya, we're not sure what an assisted reproductive technology assistant would be doing. However, we are aware that doctors have taken the Hippocratic Oath and will abide by their oath. At this point, when there is no clarity as to what these assistants are doing, it is my considered opinion that this must be certified by a medical doctor.
Then with that, members, I propose the question, which is that clause 22 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Jennifer Shamala. Honorable Member Subanoth. We are on 22, close, yes.
Chair, I'm a bit uncomfortable by the proposed amendment by Honorable Shamala. because the gist of the amendment is that it precludes single persons from undertaking assisted reproduction. And when I listened to a lot of the members when they were speaking at the committee of the whole House, they had indicated that we need to give an opportunity to single people. I'll give an example of a single person. You are a woman who has been married, your husband dies, you don't want to remarry, but you'd like to have a child. Why would we deny such a person an opportunity to have a child? However, I know where Jennifer is coming from, and if you look at the provisions that have been brought by the committee, they are very clear, and the Constitution is very clear about the issues of consent to her. And it keeps using the word female and male. And that's why I know she's using the word couple. So that we are not excluding single people, but we are also not going the direction she's worried about. So perhaps if Jennifer can think through, so that we don't exclude the single people who, due to unfortunate circumstances, are not able to have children, who may want to have children. Thank you.
Very well. Let me have Honorable Nyikal.
Chair, I also say that that amendment, actually, when we went through 22, where Honorable Wamalwa was very clear, it didn't bring that single or not issue in. It was basically the person who is having this thing done on them. Is that being certified by a medical doctor? So that is what we passed. Now, if we bring this one, even if that person is certified by a medical doctor, that they require it, but if they are single, then they don't get it. I think that is a restriction that we don't need in law. So I oppose.
You oppose. Honorable Wamalwa.
Thank you, Chair.
Wamalwa.
You know, this clause is very controversial. Maybe it's back to definitions, what we mean by couple. But to me, in my own opinion, and I'm saying this because we've had a case study, particularly in South America, whereby some women, they don't want to get pregnant, but they go and hire poor women from poor families to carry children for them. And that's why Honorable Shamala's input, particularly certified by a medical doctor, that this person is true, that is unable maybe to conceive, because it has been abused in North America and South America. A rich woman comes, she doesn't want to get pregnant, she goes and hire a poor woman. So the issue of certification by a medical doctor to show...
Honorable Chris Amalwa, let's see here, there's a point of order by Honorable Milia Koth, member for
Thank you, Chair. Chair, maybe just to help in guiding Honorable Wamalwa, if you look at the main bill, it talks about certified by a medical doctor. So it's a committee that was actually talking about technology experts. So the issue that Honorable Jennifer is raising is introducing couples instead of just a person. Because you can be a single person, as I gave the example of you are a widow, but you'd like to, your husband dies when you don't have a child, and you'd like to have a child without getting married or without getting to sleep around with other men. You just want a child without stress. And we have even given opportunity that your husband could have reserved.
Honorable Mili, you are on a point of order.
Yeah, so Chair, I'm just actually letting, maybe perhaps I should have said point of information.
Yes, you should have said
that. The information is that what is talking about actually my amendment does. So Jennifer's brings a further one, which is a blocking single people.
Then, I'm sorry, you should have said a point of information. And I think Honorable Amala was really listening to you. Honorable Amala, please make your contribution.
Thank you, Millie, for that info. And maybe in this context, Madam Chair, we need them to define what is a couple in this context. Because if a woman can't conceive, and on that matter, you are getting a sponsor, let's say, of the sperm. And the previous amendment we said that that child has a right to know who the father is at 18 years. The donor, yes. So in that context, don't you think, in terms of definition of couple here, Honorable Shamala's concern, I thought now we need to define a couple as per this context, not in the natural setup. Because you can be a single mother, yes, or a widow.
Okay.
And you want to get a baby. My concern was for this not to be abused, where you have women who are fertile, they don't want to carry pregnancy, but they want to go take advantage of the poor children somewhere to pay them to carry for them the pregnancy.
Okay, let me hear from the Honorable Chege Wajiro, the substantive chair. Honorable Member for Morango.
Thank you, Chair. I think the amendment by Honorable Shamala is not necessary. One, I don't see why you should discriminate a woman because of her marital status. So when we say couple, we've already denied that single lady, as it had been explained by Honorable Millie, the chance to have a baby if she's willing to. And number two, the fears of Honorable Chris Wamalawa on the abuse. I think the doctors will have gone through and certified that that woman really needs to be assisted. So your fears are taken care already, and we should not pass laws to discriminate, especially women on their marital status.
Please allow members with that input and the debate having arose on the same, and of course having been informed. Allow me put the question to this. Important, but we are taking, we've had, just a comment then, yes. Honorable, yes.
Honorable Chair, for conception to happen, yes, whether in vitro or otherwise, there must be a donor and a recipient. So there must be two people. There is no way you can have a single person. So in this definition of a couple, it must be defined as the donor and the recipient. But when you talk about a single mother, then does it mean that they will receive the donation, yes, like what happened with the birth of Jesus Christ through the Holy Spirit? There must be a donor,
yes,
and this is the couple now we are talking about, the donor and the recipient, so that at least even the donor can say, yes, I have donated my own, let me not use that name, my own sperms, so that at least we know that the donor is in agreement. But otherwise, then there will be people who are selling, and they will be, it will be like our cows. The bulls will
just hold. Let's get an information. Can we point out information by Honorable Millie? And then Honorable Sam, do you want to be informed by Honorable Millie? Yes, Honorable Millie, yes. Honorable members, of course, this is only to make our work easier and to understand the proposed. Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I just want to thank Honorable Sankok for agreeing to be informed. Chair, I just wanted to let him know that the concerns he's saying actually in the bill. It's there. It's already there in the bill. That you can have a situation, even when you are single like the one I'm giving you, it can be your husband who has already given that, but now you will be blocked if you actually get this. So it is already in the bill, what your concern is. It is not coming from earth, from heaven or earth. The issue that is raising about consent is in the bill. You must consent. You must consent. No, your sperms cannot be used without authorization. I want to put the question now.
Thank you. Then, Honorable Sango, can you just finish your contribution on this?
Yes.
Then with that, all members, yes, we cannot just debate on this. We had our second lead on the same. I will put the question.
Her information, yes, are actually well taken but misplaced, because at the end of the day, there must be that donor and there must be that recipient, and that most of them must have agreed. But when they say that the husband had donated and died, then I think even there must be that consent of that donor, that the husband had died and that had donated the eggs before. Yes, but no.
Okay. I can see now everybody is concerned. Honorable Chairperson, you want to say something?
Let me just give some guidance, Chair.
Yes.
In the bill, there is the issue of the couple, which means a male and female who are in an association that may be recognized as a marriage under any law in Kenya. Then there is a donor. And this is what I talked about, discrimination. And the donor means A person who voluntarily gives his or her gamete for the purpose of fertilization in an assisted reproductive technology process, and the person need not be the spouse of the person.
Where are you reading so that they can also visit the bill?
We go 436 in the definition.
Okay.
So it says donor means a person who voluntarily gives his or her gamete for the purpose of fertilization in an assisted reproductive technology process, and the person need not be the spouse of the person she or he is donating the gamete to. So when now you come and again say couple, and already we have appreciated in the bill we have donors also, so we need to differentiate the two.
Thank you. Honorable Opio, and then I put the question.
Speaker, I just hope that even though the donor need not be the spouse to the person who is receiving, I would hope that there's a database which is also be kept so that the progeny gets to know who is the father. Madam Speaker, thank you.
Okay. The I don't want Dawu Rahim. The rest will move a bit faster. This is
Chair, thank you, Chair. Chair, I want to disagree with Honorable Shamala. I think it should be an infertile person and not a couple. And I want to disagree with even Honorable Sankok in the way he's saying that, because you see, I agree with what Honorable Mili has said. It could be a widow, and the donor may have been the husband who has kept it in a sperm bank, and they want to use it at a later date. So what happens? They cannot use it because the donor is not alive?
Yes,
so, Madam Speaker, I don't agree with this amendment.
Members, we can debate this until tomorrow. Allow me put the question. Members, honorable members, order. Kebuchai. Honorable member for Kabuchai, Honorable Majimbo Kalasinga. Honorable, I want to put the question, members. Order, which is that? Yes, order, members. I move to put the question to clause 22, which is that clause 22 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Jennifer Shamala. Will as many as of that will say aye? Aye. And as many as of that contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The nays have it. I now put the question to clause. I put the question to clause 22, which is that clause 22 be part of the bill. As many as of that opinion say aye? And as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next.
Clause 23.
I propose the question, which is a clause 23, be part of the bill. We have a proposed amendment by the chairperson, and now we must move faster.
No, the chairperson has come.
Clause 23.
No, the chairperson is here.
Thank you, Chair. I move that clause 23 of the bill is amended by renumbering clause 23 as 23(1). In subclause 1C by inserting the word and commercial purposes immediately after the word purposes, and C by inserting the following new subclause immediately after subclause 1. A person who contravenes the provision of this section commits an offence and shall upon conviction be liable to a fine not exceeding 5 million shillings or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 5 years.
If it's long, you can just say as
it was. The justification, Chair, is that this amendment seeks to deter procurement of assisted reproductive technology for commercial purposes, and further seeks to provide for penalty clause for undertaking assisted reproductive technology services for purposes not enumerated in that clause. I move, Chair.
Very well. Then I propose the question, which is that clause 23 be amended as proposed by the chairperson. Chris, you want to make a comment on this? Members, now we have to move faster.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I want to support that. And in many other countries, people have been taking advantage of this for commercial purposes. And it's happening in Kenya. I'm told, particularly even some rich women. This is a story I was given by some university students. They go to the university, they look for the young boys, particularly those intelligent doing top courses like medicine. Absolutely. For purposes of... absolutely. And we are hoping this practice will not be allowed because it's going to drive away the value of family. And it's going to kill family values where marriages are likely to break because your wife can decide to do away with you because you can go somewhere and go for commercial purposes or even the looks. I've been seeing people even looking for the color. So we are just hoping the doctors will be very, very careful on this matter to certify so that the issue of commercialization, Madam Speaker, Madam Chair, it will wipe away the values, family values. And this is opening a Pandora's box. It's already happening in the West. And you are seeing it coming to Kenya or to Africa, slowly by slowly. Let's not open a Pandora's box, but I accept, I agree, that there must be that penalty. It's specifically on medical grounds, but not for commercial purposes.
Odol Odhiambo, Honorable, nominated. Just a comment, Honorable Odol. Can see you.
Chair, I want to thank you, but the comment I wanted to make was earlier, and I believe that at this point I don't have...
I move to put the question on clause 23, which is that clause 23 be amended as proposed by the chairperson. Members will, as many as of that opinion, say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion, say nay. The ayes have it. I put the question, which is the clause 23, as amended, be part of the bill. As many as of that opinion, say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion, say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 24.
I propose the question with the clause 24 be part of the bill. Chairperson, move the amendment.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that the clause 24 of the bill be amended as proposed in the order paper. The same, Chair, is just to make sure that we will not commercialize reproductive technology services, and I move.
With that, I propose the question which is that clause 24 be amended as proposed by the chairperson. I put the question with that clause 24 be amended as proposed by the chairperson. Members, as many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the question which is that clause 24 as amended be part of the bill. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 25.
I propose the question which is that clause 25 be part of the bill. Proposed amendment by the chairperson.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that the clause 25 of the bill is amended as proposed in the order paper. On this amendment, Chair, this will clarify the only acceptable instances when an expert can harvest gametes from a minor. This is with consent of the parent or legal guardian of the minor. The amendment also seeks to provide for a penalty for contravention or provision of the section in order to deter non-compliance. I move, Chair.
I propose the question that clause 25 be amended as proposed by the chairperson. I put the question which is that clause 25 be amended as proposed by the chairperson. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Now that it has been carried, the proposed amendment by the committee has been carried. We had a proposed amendment by the Honorable Shamala, and so with that, your proposed amendment falls automatically. So, members, I put the question on clause 25, which is that clause 25 as amended be part of the bill. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 26.
I propose the question which is that clause 26 be part of the bill. Committee, Chairperson.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that clause 26 of the bill is amended as proposed in the order paper. Chair, on this one, the amendment seeks to remove any reference to authority based on earlier amendments, limits issuance of license that allows the keeping or using of an embryo after the appearance of the primitive streak after 5 days. The amendment also seeks to provide for a penalty for contravention or provisions of the section in order to deter non-compliance. I move, Chair.
I propose the question which is that clause 26 be amended as proposed by the chairperson. I move to put the question which is that clause 26 be amended as proposed by the chairperson. As many as of this opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. As members, we had also a proposed amendment, the Honorable Jennifer Shamala, and now that the departmental committee's amendment has been taken, that is the chairperson's, then the amendment by Honorable Shamala falls automatically. And I therefore move to put the question to clause 26, which is that clause 26 as amended be part of the bill. As many as are of this opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 27.
I propose the question which is that clause 27 be part of the bill.
Chair, I beg to move that clause 27 of the bill is amended as proposed in the order paper. Chair, it is not medically possible to transfer a sperm and an egg separately into a womb and expect a pregnancy immediately. Hence, the amendment seeks to clarify that and for a penalty for contravention of use of gametes contrary to provisions of the section in order to deter non-compliance. I move, Chair.
I propose a question which is that clause 27 be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question which that clause 27 be amended as proposed by the chair of the committee. Members, as many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I move to put the question which the clause 27 as amended be part of the bill. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 28.
I propose the question which is the clause 28 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Chair, I beg to move that clause 28 of bill is amended as per the order paper. Chair, on this amendment, would delete the limit within which a person can use sperms after the death of a man. This should depend on viability of the sperm and left open as long as the sperms are viable as consent had already been issued prior to death. I beg to move.
Interesting. I propose the question which is that clause 28 be amended as proposed by the chairperson. Yes, we have a contribution by Honorable Millie Odhiambo on clause 28.
Chair, I agree with the committee, except I just wanted to bring to the attention of the chair that if you do not delete the words "and assisted reproductive process," then it's untidy in clause. I hope you can see what I'm saying.
Can she be on record? Just comment on
because she says by deleting the words takes place within 5 years of the death of the man. And if you do not remove, or rather add, and assisted reproductive process. I don't know if I make sense.
Chair, it's making sense. It must be.
Yeah, we can. I accept, Chair, and thank you for that. And I think we can clean it up, so we'll move in amended form so that we have the right way.
The assisted reproductive process.
So by this one now you move, you admit that it's on record that it will be cleaned up.
That you delete and assisted reproductive process.
Honorable Chair, we don't want to put words in your mouth. Honorable Chairperson. Let her consult and then yes.
Can I be clearer?
Yes, be clearer as she also consult.
That what the amendment should now read is the mother was married to the man at the time of the death of the man. Full stop. But you did not delete and assisted reproductive process. So if you leave that, then it will read the mother was married to the man at the time of the death of the man and assisted reproductive process, which does not make sense. So I'm just proposing that she deletes the words and assisted reproductive process both in A and subclause A and subclause B.
If you are
so
convinced, Chairperson, please can you move your amendment?
Yes, Chair, I want to move my amendment and confirm I'll move it in amended form by deleting the words in A that now it will read, will delete, takes place within 5 years of the death of the man, and assisted reproductive process that takes place within 5 years. So we'll delete the total.
As a matter of cleanup and amended.
As a matter of, yes.
Yes.
So I'm moving it in amended form.
Honourable members, I propose for us to be a bit tidy. I propose the question which is that clause 28 be amended as further amended by Honourable Chairperson. I now put the question which is that clause 28 be amended as proposed by the chairperson. As many as of this opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honourable members, we had a proposed amendment of clause 28 by the Honourable Zuleika Hassan, which now that with the House having carried the amendment by the Honorable Chairperson, then the amendment by the Honorable Zuleika Hassan falls automatically as a matter of procedure. I move to put the question, which is clause 28, as amended, be part of the bill. As many as are of this opinion say aye. Aye. And as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next.
Clause 29.
I propose the question, which is that clause 29 be part of the bill. Honourable members, we have no proposed amendment to clause 29, and I put the question, which is that clause 29 be part of the bill. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. And as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 30.
I propose the question, which is that clause 30 be part of the bill. Proposed amendment by the chairperson, and also we have a proposed
amendment.
Thank
you, Chair. I beg to move that bill be amended by deleting clause 30 and substituting therefore with the following new clause as per the order paper. And this amendment seeks to make provision for the rights that will accrue to a child born out of assisted reproductive. Thank you, Chair. I move.
I propose a question, which is a clause 30 be amended as proposed by the Honourable Chairperson of the committee. I put the question. I see no interest. I put the question, which is that clause 30 be amended as proposed by the Chairperson of the committee. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. And as many as of a court opinion say nay. The ayes have it. With the carrying of proposed amendment by the Chairperson of the committee, again, now that we had a proposed amendment by the Honourable Jennifer Shamala, then if your proposed amendment, Shamala, Honourable, falls automatically. Members, I move to put the question on clause 30, which is that clause 30 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of this opinion say aye? Aye. And as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 31.
I propose the question, which is that clause 31 be part of the bill. Chairperson?
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that clause 31 of the bill is amended as per the order paper. Chair, this amendment seeks to clarify who shall qualify to be a surrogate mother, and also clarifies that the surrogate mother shall relinquish all parental rights at the birth of the child. I move, Chair.
With that, honourable members, I propose the question on clause 31, which is that clause 31 be amended as proposed by the chairperson of the committee. Honourable Millie.
Chair, I support. One of the this is one of the areas that has been very problematic, and there are many cases that have gone to court, and the court requested the House to come up with a law so that we don't have people going to court to make decisions for us when we have the power to legislate. So I support.
You support Honourable Chris Omalwa? That's a comment. Does I move to put the question?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I support, and we've had this experience whereby you find somebody, a surrogate mother, has agreed everything, but I've seen the time the baby is out, doesn't want to relinquish, or goes back again to renegotiate to be added more money, and it's contrary to whatever they had agreed earlier. So this will help, because these issues have been going on. I don't want to name some people who've had such issues. Okay. But it's true, I think it's going to clean it so that we have a clear process. I thank you, I support.
Very well. With that, on members, I put the question to clause 31, which is that clause 31 be amended as proposed by the chairperson of the committee. Members, as many as of this opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honourable members, we had a proposed amendment by Honourable Zuleika Hassan, which was a deletion. We also had a proposed amendment by the Honourable Jennifer Shamala on the same clause 31. And now with the chairperson's amendment having been carried as a matter of procedure, the amendment by Honourable Zuleika Hassan and Honourable Jennifer Shamala falls again automatically. And with that, I move to put the question on clause 31, which is that clause 31 as amended be part of the bill. As many as are of this opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 32.
I propose the question, which is that clause 32 be part of the bill. Proposed amendment, please move, Honourable Chairperson.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that the clause 32 of the bill is amended as per the order paper. This Chair amendment seeks to enhance to the provision of surrogacy agreements and issues that should be addressed in such an agreement. I move, Chair.
With that, important members, I propose the question which is that clause 32 be amended as proposed by the chairperson of the Health Committee. I see no interest to speak to this, and I put the question which is that clause 32 be amended as proposed by the chairperson of the committee. Will as many as of this opinion say aye? And as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? Members, the ayes have it. Again, on clause 32, we had a proposed amendment by Honorable Zuleika Hassan and proposed amendment by Honorable Jennifer Shamala. And with the committee's proposed amendment having been carried, then the amendment by the Honorable Zuleika Hassan and Honorable Jennifer Shamala falls. I move to put the question on clause 32, which is that clause 32, as amended, be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 33.
I propose the question, which is that clause 33 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that clause 33 of the bill is amended as per the order paper. Chair, this is a consequential amendment due to deletion of the authority and establishment of directorate. I move, Chair.
I propose the question, which is that clause 33 be amended as proposed by the chairperson of the committee. I move to put the question, which is that clause 33 be amended as proposed by the chairperson of the committee. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I move to put the question on clause 33, which is that clause 33 as amended be part of the bill. Members, as many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 34.
I propose the question, which is that clause 34 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that clause 34 is amended as per the order paper. Again, this is a consequential amendment due to the deletion of the authority and establishment of directorate. I move, Chair.
With that, I propose the question on clause 34, which is that clause 34 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Chairperson of the committee. Honorable, before I put the question, it's good to listen. Honorable Chris Amano.
Thank you. I was listening carefully when the chair was moving clause 34, and you mentioned clearly that it's a consequential amendment from authority, but there was this issue of 21 and 18. How I had wished that you mentioned something. The 18 may by notice, then 21, because it's not consequential as such. That is clause 34. Yeah, she should have mentioned that. She did not.
Chair, just on record so that at least we can.
Please.
Honorable Chairperson, so that we move faster.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Chair, that was just part of the amendment, but we also have the amendment of the age from 18 to 21. And this, Chair, we really needed to make sure that the person making the decision is of mature age and can make the right decision. I move, Chair.
With this, Honorable Dawood.
Chair, I oppose it because when a person can make a decision in the voting, when he is voting and everything, and is an adult at the age of 18, so I don't think it should be changed, Chair.
So you oppose, you don't support?
No.
Let me have Nikal, same member. No, he's out, it's consulting. Honorable Ole Sankok. A comment on 34 before I put the question?
Yes, Chair, and when it comes to the ability to make the decision, I do oppose, Honorable Chair, because at 18, I think we need somebody who is more mature, not only from 18, but we can even put the age bracket to be around 35, so that at least, Honorable Chair, most of the 18 guys are yet not employed, and they may just make that as a money minting exercise, and that they want to make is a form of employment. Yet we really need somebody, and actually we should even say around 35 years and financially stable.
With that, Honorable Diwa. It's a house of debate. That's how we make laws.
Thank you. That's interesting, Chair.
It's interesting, yes.
This is a very serious issue. It's not really like voting. It's an issue of life, and also maturity is required. But globally, what we are suggesting at 21 years has been used, but not 18. So we are just following the global trend as well.
So do you support or you don't support?
I support.
You support. Members, I put a question to clause 34, which is that clause 34 be amended as proposed by the chairperson. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay, the ayes have it. I put the question. Yes, Honorable Amelia Diambo, before I put the global question.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Just an issue of concern that based on that amendment, the committee needed to actually drop the use of the word minor, because when you use 21, it's the word minor no longer applies. And if you look at 35(1), it's on the bill, it says unless the information is necessary for a medical procedure relating to the minor. So it should be to the person. It's no longer minor. Again, that applies in relation to 35(2).
When we get to 35, we'll deal with it at that point. But it's good for noting.
Well, are we in that? Not
we are in 34.
Oh, sorry.
Is the minor in 34?
No, it's in 35.
So you are talking about 35.
Sorry.
Thank you. It's okay. At least you can tell we are very alert members. Thank you, Honorable Millie. I move to put the question to 34, which is that clause 34 as amended be part of the bill. Honorable members, as many as are that opinion say aye. And as many as have a contrary say nay. The ayes have it. Next question.
Clause 35.
I propose the question which is that clause 35 be part of the bill. Chair. Chairperson on clause 35.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move amendment in clause 35 as proposed in the bill. And Chair, this again was just to clean up. It's a very similar amendment with what we have done with 34. Thank you, Chair. I move.
I propose the question that clause 35 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Chairperson. I see no interest. I move to put the question. Yes, the Honorable Daud.
Chair, if we have changed 34 from 18 to 21, shouldn't the chairperson have moved the information to below the age of 18 to below the age of 21? Shouldn't it have been done that? So I would request the chair to make that amendment. Thank you, Chair.
She has done it, but she has already done it.
It's already done. That's why I said as per the order paper, it's only that I didn't read the content. So again, the 18 to 21 is also done in 35.
Yes, as per the order paper. Honorable Dawa, are you okay with that? It's done. You're happy about it? The order. Honorable Dawa, I can see is nodding. He is satisfied. I move to put the question on 35, which is that. Honorable Chairperson, before I put the question. Let us make laws that are already cleaned up. Honorable Chairperson, let's hear what she has to say, because she had already moved it.
I don't see whether we should now amend what Honorable Millie was saying, because on 2, where the minor is mentioned, is that this law allows a legal person to seek information on behalf of the minor. So this would not be affected by what we have amended before.
Okay, then let me hear Honorable Amelia Diambo.
Chair, if you actually look at the amendment proposed by the chair in 35(1), is that the directorate shall not avail information to a person below the age of 21 years unless the information is necessary for a medical procedure relating to the minor. That's not a minor. 21 is not a minor. Then secondly, where a minor seeks such information, because we've already said it's not a minor who will seek information, it's a person who is 21 who will be seeking information. Then such information, the minor may through a legal guardian give notice Already we have said a minor is not seeking information, so where are we referring to the minor seeking information again? So that's why I was saying maybe we use the word person instead of minor.
As she consults, let me have the member for... You want to clarify? Okay.
You see, Chair, here it's saying, okay, the director shall not avail information to a person below the age, now we have said 21 years, unless the information is necessary for medical procedure relating to a minor. So it's not necessarily that the person who is seeking information, there is a legal, when two it says, when a minor seeks such information, the minor may, through a legal guardian.
Okay. Very well. That's why I just love the minds of this house. Honorable Millie Odhiambo, just give her mic. Is it fine?
Yeah, that's okay, actually. I understand her.
I move to put a question which is that clause 35 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Chairperson. Members, as many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. And as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the question which is the clause 35 as amended be part of the bill. Members, as many as of that opinion say aye. And as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 36.
I propose the question which is that clause 36 be part of the bill. Proposed amendment by the Chairperson, please.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that the clause 36 of the bill is amended as per the order paper. Chair, this amendment is similar to the other two previous amendments that we did, where we are now deleting the word authority. I move, Chair.
I propose the question which is that clause 36 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Chairperson of the Health Committee. I hear there was no interest on this, and I move to put the question which is a clause 36 be amended as proposed by the Chairperson. Members, as many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. And as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I move to put the question which is a clause 36 as amended be part of the bill. As many as of this opinion say aye. Aye. And as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 37.
I propose the question which is a clause 37 be part of the bill. Chairperson, please move your proposed amendment.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that clause 37 of the bill is amended as proposed in the order paper. This, Chair, again, we are deleting the authority to directorate, and number two, we are also doing the insertion of clause to provide for penalty for contravention of the provision. I move, Chair.
You move. I propose the question which is that clause 37 be amended as proposed by the Chairperson. Honorable 001 David Sankoch, your comment?
Yes, my comment is on clause 37(4). A person who contravenes the provision of this section commits an offense and shall be conviction be liable to a fine not exceeding 5 million. You know, when you say not exceeding 5 million, it can be 5 shillings. It is still not exceeding 5 million. Or not exceeding 5 years. So I think, why don't we put it, because this is a very serious issue, not below 5 million and not below 5 years. Why should it not be exceeding? You know, when it is not exceeding, he can even be jailed for 1 day. It is not exceeding 5 years. They can be jailed they can be fined 20 shillings, which is not exceeding 5 million. So I think there must be a way we can put it either between 5 million and 10 million, or 3 million and 10 million, but we can put it not below 5 million.
Honorable Martin Odiwa, Owino, member for Diwa, your comment on the...
Chair, I realize what the Honorable member is saying, but when we are making legislation, we also have to give the judiciary a legal way to make their judgment. I don't think they can do that. And Chair, fines are not really to kill people, but to correct people. So we cannot overkill with putting major fines like that.
Honorable member for Suba, Honorable Millie, can see you're requesting to speak to this?
Chair,
that's a comment.
I actually agree with Honorable Sankoch. I know there's a school of thought that says that when you provide minimums, that you do not allow discretion for the judiciary. But Chair, when I was practicing, I had a case where a person defiled a child, lost the uterus. She underwent, a 6-year-old child, underwent 7 reconstructive surgeries, including removing of her uterus. and the man was put on probation because of discretion. So sometimes when you leave too much discretion, it is subject to abuse. So perhaps if the chair could provide minimum, that would be fine, but that it gives leeway so that there's also just the same way we say that there's guided democracy. We can also guide discretion, Chair. But it's up to the chair to see whether she wants to move it.
Very well. Let me hear from the member for North Imenti as the chair consults.
Chair, I want to disagree with Honorable Sankok and Honorable Mili. I agree with Honorable Owino of Ndiwa that all our laws, there is never a minimum. So unless we now start changing all the laws, that's when we can now think about it, Madam Chair.
But now, unless you want to say it's a point of information now, the member who has contributed has already issued. Honorable Amelia Diambo, yes? You were not mentioned. We were just disagreeing with you.
Thank you, Chair. Is the honorable member in order to mislead the House? The Sexual Offences Act provides for those minimums. So it's not in order to say that there is no law that doesn't provide. There is.
That was a point of information you have been
No, it's misleading the House. So it's a point of order.
Honorable Dawu, you have been informed that you are misleading the House is already in the... Yes. Before we make a determination, yes, I'll give it to you, Honorable. But let me get the chairperson to clarify so that I can have one more and then I put a question.
Chair, all I wanted to clarify on this fine is that this is fine for the person who is giving information. So it's not the route that Honorable Millie had taken. It's a person who would give or disclose information. So, and Chair, if you look at even what we have passed before, we have already that not exceeding. That's how we have followed before, not exceeding. And number two, Chair, as somebody said, we will also expect that we have also very sober judges who will not just somebody will give information, then you give him a fine of 5 shillings. You know, that's really unreasonable. And we're just hoping that we can also trust our judiciary, Chair. And I move.
Honorable Member for Kwanza.
I think I need to agree with Sankok. Because if you don't do that, people take advantage. And I think it's only fair that we have a minimum and a maximum. You can't say, because at discretion of somebody, he may just, as I said, right to say, give 1,000 shillings. So I think this House makes law, this House supervises, and therefore we can't run away from it and leave at the discretion of somebody else. It is actually this House that makes law in this country. And therefore, you must have a minimum, and the minimum, I think, they just come up with something, minimum and then maximum. So the chair, don't leave it at the discretion of somebody else. Yeah? So,
okay, thank you, Honorable.
This, because of corruption, Madam Speaker, Madam Chair, this country is getting out of this. And the moment you say the maximum, not maximum, they can do anything.
Okay.
You see, the law is open.
Your comment is made. It's a house of... Yes, Honorable Sankok. So before I put the question...
We can trust the judiciary on the minimum, not exceeding. Because why don't we say a minimum of 1 million? Now they can go with discretion up to 20 million, 30 million, whatever they go. Because at the end of the day, our 5 million today may be peanuts in coming years. Because in 1991, 10 shillings was a lot of money. But now it is, so if you go to the minimum, now they can go to the higher side, whichever way, and also taking into consideration the living standard, they can go wherever they want to go. But let us give the minimum that according to us, this issue is life and death. It is about surrogacy. And now, because it is about life, we give a minimum that we think is the basis, and then they can go, depending on what they have committed, the crime they have committed, they can now say, because it is a minimum of 1 million, now they can go to 20 million, 30 million, depending on the crime committed.
Okay. Let me give the chair. If the chair is convinced that you can move either in an amended form, if you're not convinced,
Chair,
I'll move to put the question on the
Chair,
clause 37.
on 37, we are focusing on anybody who discloses information. That is one thing I want to inform members. Number two, I think for the drafters, and maybe we have a few lawyers here, mainly the common way of drafting is saying not exceeding. So commonly we don't set the minimum. You know, a minimum, maximum. Mainly it's not exceeding this amount. And so we are saying if you disclose information, you will be fined, a fine not exceeding 5 million. So I think for the purposes of neatness, Chair, I will beg the House to support, and so that we can move on.
Then with that, members, from where I sit as a chair, I'll put the question. It's for the House to take a vote on clause 37. Members, I put the question, which is that clause 37 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Chairperson of the Health Committee. As many as are that opinion say aye. Aye. And as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. Nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Sanko, and I now to put the question of clause 37, which is that clause 37, as amended, be part of the bill. As many as have that opinion say aye. Aye. And as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. Nay. The ayes have it. Of course, with a very loud nay by the Honorable Sanko.
Clause 38.
I propose the question with that clause 38 be part of the bill. Proposed amendment by the chairperson, and again we also have a proposal.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that the clause 38 of the bill is amended as proposed in the order paper. Again, Chair, we are deleting authority to directorate. And number two, we also seek to ensure that there is consultation with medical practitioners and dentist council in issuance of licenses, as this is the key regulating body in the medical sector. I move, Chair.
You move. I propose the question, members, which is that clause 38 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Chairperson of the Health Committee. No, we cannot just be putting the question members want to be. Let me have Honorable Millie Odhiambo. Just a comment.
Chair, I noticed that 37.4 also provides for penalties, and this will be a recurring theme. And I just want to indicate that I said there's a school of thought amongst lawyers.
Honorable Millie Odhiambo, we are already past 37.
Sorry.
We are on 38.
Sorry, Chair.
Yes.
That one on the medical practitioners, that one I agree with.
Oh, okay. Then, members, I put the question, which is that clause 38 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Chege, the Chairperson of the Health Committee. As many as of this opinion say aye. Aye. And as many as of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, we had a proposed amendment by the Honorable Jennifer Shamala on 38. And with the chairperson's amendment having been carried, members, the proposed amendment by Honorable Shamala Jennifer again falls automatically. I put the global question to clause 38, which is a clause 38 be which is a clause 38 as amended be part of the bill. Members, as many as of this opinion say aye. Aye. And as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. There is a bit.
Clause 39.
I propose the question, which is that clause 39 be part of the bill. Chairperson, move your proposed amendment.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that clause 39 of the bill is amended as per the order paper. Again, Chair, it's the issue of the authority to directorate, and amendment also to provide for penalty for contravention of the clause. I move, Chair.
I propose the question, which is that clause 39 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Chair. Yes, let me hear Honorable Sanko on 39.
Honorable Chair, though there are a lot of voices against me, but on this one I must go on handset and on record that I oppose. We needed to have said a minimum of 5 million shillings. This is a very sensitive issue. It is an issue that deals with death. We are taking over powers that were bestowed upon God, so that human beings can take that power. Honorable Speaker, we cannot be having not exceeding 5 million. 5 million is not a lot of money, and they can end up being penalized.
You're on 39?
20. Yes, I'm on 39.
Very
because
well.
to be specific, I'm on 39B2.
Yes,
a person who contravenes this provision of this section commit an offense and shall, upon conviction, be liable to a fine not exceeding 5 million. I wanted to be minimum of 5 million, going there about even 100 million, because it's a function that was bestowed upon God. Now that we are taking that function.
Okay. With that, Honorable Millie?
Chair, just also want to go on record with that. Even though I'll let the penalties pass, we can at a later time bring amendments. But I just wanted to go on record by stating that it's a common saying by lawyers that it is not a common practice in the Commonwealth to provide minimums. It is also not a common practice in the Commonwealth to be corrupt. So uncommon situations require uncommon solutions. So we can't go by the way of a Commonwealth when we know that Kenya is absolutely corrupt. So when we are corrupt, we must provide standards which are uncommon and which are deterrent. So when you provide discretion, like in this case, what 39 is seeking to do is to provide that nobody shall carry out assisted reproduction unless the person has a license. And then you go and find somebody is practicing in River Road, producing babies using pigs, gametes of pigs. And then we find them 100 Kenya shillings because that's a minimum. So that's actually why I'm saying I may not push too much for that now, but at a later date we need to provide a minimum.
Very well. I now put the question, which is that clause 39 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Chairperson of the Health Committee. Members, as many as of that have been say aye. Aye. And as many as have called have say nay. Nay. Yes, I have it.
Clause.
Then I move to put the global question, which is that clause 39 as amended be part of the bill. As many as of that have been say aye. Aye. And as many as have called have been say nay. Nay. Yes, I have it.
Clause 40.
I propose the question, which is that clause 40 be part of the bill. Proposed amendment by the chairperson of the committee, and we also have another proposed amendment by Honorable Jennifer Shamala. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that the clause 40 of the bill is amended as proposed in the order paper, and this is just a matter of deletion of the word authority to directorate. I move, Chair.
I propose the question, which is a clause 40 be amended as proposed by the chairperson. Honorable Shamala, you want?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I'm seeking a clarification on this because my amendment says that clause 40 of the bill be amended by inserting the following new subsections 4, 5, and 6 immediately after subsection 3. That embryo shall not be imported or exported outside of Kenya. It is the responsibility of the IVF facility to ensure that the embryo that are created but are not transferred to an adoptive mother because of her death, disagreements, commissioning parents, and the surrogate or any other reasons. Is this not clause 40, subclause 4 and 5? Because it... But I thought I heard the chair moving an amendment to clause 40. Yes.
We are in clause 40.
We are on clause 40, honorable members, which now their proposed amendment has been moved by the honorable chairperson. And again, we also have another amendment by Honorable Shamala, who is yourself. But first of all, we deal with the proposed amendment by the chairperson. We dispense it, and then now we can come to you. Honourable members, now I put the question to clause 40, which is that clause 40 be amended as proposed by the chairperson. As many as of this opinion say aye, aye. And as many as of the opinion say nay, nay. The ayes have it. Honourable members, we had a proposed amendment by the Honourable Jennifer Shamala, and of course, again, as a matter of procedure, we have the chairperson's amendment for the committee that has been carried. And so for this matter, the Honorable Jennifer Shamala amendment falls automatically. I move to put the question, which is at clause 40, as amended be part of the bill. As many as that have been say aye, aye. And as many as have have been say nay, the ayes have it.
Clause 41.
I propose the question. We are on clause 41. Yes, Honorable Sankok.
I don't know if it is the procedure of this House. If I'm not wrong, the amendment can only fall if the amendment were almost the same. But the amendment by Honorable Shamala on clause 40 are totally very different. It is about export of the cement that will be collected, Honorable Chair, and you know we can end up collecting for commercial purposes, collecting cement from prisons. No, it was the amendment by Honorable Shamala, if I heard you very well. It's the export and import.
Which one are you talking about? That must be in 43, not even 40.
No, it is on 40, clause 40.
In fact, she's also admitting. Let's hear from Honorable
Shamala. Chair, I can actually read for him because I've opened the two papers. Honorable Shamala's clause 40 reads that clause 40 of the bill be amended in subclause 1 by deleting the word authority and substituting the word ministry. Again, subclause B by deleting the word authority and substituting the word ministry. And that is exactly the same as the amendment by the committee. The one that Sankok and Honorable, I know that these things sometimes are confusing.
Thank you, Honorable.
Even me, I get confused.
Yeah,
but
it is very confusing. And that's why it is important for the members to get clarification. And Honorable Sankok is not wrong. It's good to get clarification, but yes, get to understand the clause that we are in, and as a matter of procedure, say again.
It only shows how attentive we are and how active we are as members. So you should actually appreciate instead of...
I am appreciating you actually. I'm appreciating Honorable. And thank you, members. You are very attentive also. So with me as a chair, I put the question, which is at clause, which I did not put the question to clause 40. We are in 41. But it's important to understand. I propose the question, which is at clause 41, be amended as proposed by the chair. I move to put the question, which is at clause 41, be amended as proposed by the chair. As many as of these opinions say aye. And as many as of a call of say nay. The ayes have it. Again, members, on clause 41, we had a proposed amendment by the Honorable Jennifer Shamala, and with the chairperson's amendment being carried, then the amendment by the Honorable Jennifer Shamala falls automatically. I put the question to clause 41, which is at clause 41, as amended, be part of the bill. As many as of that opinion say aye. It is many as of a corner opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 42.
I propose the question, which is at clause 42, be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that clause 42 of the bill be amended as per the order paper. Again, Chair, this is deletion of the word authority. And second, the issue of penalty. I move, Chair.
I hope the members have gotten the import of the same, and I propose the question, which is that clause 42 be amended as proposed by the chairperson. Do I put the question? I move to put the question, which is that clause 42 be amended as proposed by the chairperson. Members, will as many as of this opinion say aye? And as many as of a court opinion say nay? The ayes have it. We had a proposed amendment again by Honorable Jennifer Shamala on clause 42, and the same way, now that the committee has been taken or carried, it falls automatic. I put the question to clause 42 then, which is that clause 42, as amended, be part of the bill. As many as of this opinion say aye. And as many as of a court opinion say nay. Yes, have it.
Clause 43.
I propose the question, which is that clause 43 be part of the bill. We have a proposed amendment by the Honorable Jennifer Shamala. Now, move the amendment on 43.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I propose that clause 43 of the bill be amended and insert the following new paragraphs immediately after paragraph 3. CA, an embryo which is created but is not transferred to the surrogate or adoptive mother for any reason shall be stored and shall be given priority in the succeeding application for assisted reproductive technology. CB, no gametes or embryos shall be subjected to destruction. In paragraph B, by deleting the word authority, and of course in accordance with what has to all the other amendments with regards to the word authority and ministry.
Your input on this? What is your input of the amendment proposed?
My input of the amendment is, as when we will go to definitions, is understanding and appreciating, as I stated earlier, that an embryo is a live, living organism that stems and emanates from the body of a human being. And indeed, as we state, that life begins at conception. And this conception, again, is determined within our Constitution and within the rights of an unborn child. We cannot dictate as to when the embryo becomes a living. It is alive. Is it alive at 1 second, at 2 seconds, or at that infinite immediate time?
Okay. With that import of the proposed amendment on 43 members, I move to propose the question, which is that clause. Honorable, let me propose the question first, and then I can give the floor. I propose the question, which is that clause 43 be amended as proposed by Honorable Jennifer Shamala. Now it's open. Yes, I start. Let me start with the chair first.
Actually, mine is on the authority, because her proposal was to replace the word authority with ministry, so that then she moves it as directorate. That's just for neatness. Instead of ministry, the authority, you replace the word ministry with directorate. Yeah.
Then she must be on record, because yes, it's already, she had already said that she did not say as per the order paper. So please, can you just, for clarity, just move it in B, so that
I move it.
Though I had already proposed. Yes, Honorable Shamala, you have the mic.
I'm sorry, Madam Chair. I was consulting with Honorable Sankok on something I didn't quite. I propose to move that the word authority be replaced by the word directorate.
You propose?
Ministry or director?
Yes. Then now that directorate.
With the word directorate.
With the director, it is further amended. I propose the question, which is that clause 43 be further amended as proposed by the Honorable Shamala, which is of course substitution of the ministry with the directorate, as of course not indicated in the order paper, so that at least we can have some uniformity. So with that, Honorable. Yes, we will all speak to this. Honorable Sankoko 001.
Honorable Chair, I oppose what Honorable Shamala, not in entirety what she have said, but the specific point where she said that the embryo cannot be destroyed at any time. Honorable Chair, supposing we realize that during the formation of this embryo, we might have gotten a donor who is a serial killer or who is a criminal, Honorable Speaker and Chair, or again, if we realize, no, let us just be factual, because these things do happen, and we find that whatever we have created the embryo, there is a lot of deformities, that congenital deformities that may no, it's not about abortion. This one is still in the test tube. We have not yet implanted into the womb. Honorable Chair, so for me, I employ upon members so that we can oppose this one, that we can destroy depending on professional medical advice. And she have said we must preserve it. For how long? Is it for 100 years, for eternity, for waiting for another chance? So, Honorable Chair, I really do oppose this one.
You oppose Honorable Majimbo Kalasinga, the member for Kabuchai constituency.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think, Madam Chair, I will agree with Madam Shamala that we have, when does life begin? Life begin when we put the two, when they come it together come. Madam Chair, if we know that life has begun already, we are committing, as a Christian, we are committing a sin by that destruction self. I do not agree with the Honorable Sangok in that we are saying of a serial killer. Madam Chair, we don't destroy offsprings because of their fathers or mothers. We do this because, Madam Speaker, we preserve a life. That is when we need more research before we come together. Meiosis and mitosis, Madam Chair, come in here in space only if you have already researched. And Madam Speaker, Madam Chair, if we do that, if we allow that, then we shall have more destruction of life because we know where life begins. That's why I support the amendment of Madam Shamala, and I strongly oppose. If we go like this, how do you judge the character of a person and then level it on an offspring? Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, it's a house of debate. Honorable Kabuchai, you may not wish to really be in agreement with Honorable Sankok, but now when you say you support, what you are supporting is the amendment. Are you in support of the amendment or not? Not Honorable Sankok.
All right, Madam Chair, I'm in support of the amendment.
Oh, okay. Yes, let me hear from the Dr. Nikal. Honorable Dr. Nikal.
Chair, this is a very important amendment that is being proposed, and I would propose that we also don't take it together, CA and CB, because they have distinct differences. With CA, the issue is there must also be consent on when the next person, because the next person who may be requesting may not want that particular embryo. Yes. So that consent is also important. But we can leave that to regulations, in which case I can support that. CB is more, it is now more technical issue, because even if you store the embryos, with time they actually deteriorate. So that there is actually a technical period that is provided for. I think, and even in this law, we are provided for a period for 10 years, which we actually say we can be amended. So that after a time, we do not know whether this embryo you are implanting is viable or whether it will be subject to deformation because it has deteriorated. So I think if you bring CB, that is dangerous even to the person who will receive the embryo. I would therefore, I'm opposed to CB, CA, so long as we know that there will be consent on the next person who requires to have the embryo. So CB, I'm opposed to. CA, yes, that I can support, understanding that there will be regulations.
Then Dawood, Honorable Dawood Rahim.
Chair, I agree with Dr. Nikal. And Chair, if you go to 43D, it says no gametes or embryos shall be kept in storage for longer than the statutory storage period. But, you know, CB is in complete contrast to what D is there. So it should be completely removed from the amendment of Honorable Shamala, because it will be in conflict with D.
Unless Honorable Ndiwa.
Yes, Chair, I also rise to oppose this. I think Honorable Samala meant well, but normally they take 10 years. In very rare circumstances, can go up to 55 years. This is so we will not say you cannot destroy, because even if at that elevated level, you can give birth to something else. So life starts at conception is okay in the right place in the womb, but you cannot transfer in the test tube, freezing and all this. So I oppose.
You oppose, Doctor, of course. The Honorable Chairperson, Honorable.
Chair, I just wanted maybe to guide Honorable Shamala, because on 43, if you go 43D, it says no gamete or embryo shall be kept in storage for longer than the statutory storage period. And also, the 2 says the storage period in respect of embryos shall be a period not exceeding 10 years, or as the license may specify. So the amendment, what she's moving, will be contradicting actually 43. So I'll ask her to drop so that we go, the authorities, okay, to drop the ones that are contradictory.
So for this matter, unless because it's an amendment by the Honorable Shamal, unless she drops on record, or I put the question for the whole. The Honorable Shamala. Yes, Honorable Nikal.
If we put a question for the whole, and we say that CA is actually tolerable, it can be done, we can have ways of sorting it out. CB, what are we going to do? Because are you going to give me an embryo that is 35 years old? 35 years old, and we do not know at that point whether it will be viable or whether it will give deformed children. So if we could call out CA separately and CB separately, that in my mind would help.
Honorable Shamala, do you wish to drop, or who do you wish us to put the question? Because he had already proposed the amendment, she had moved as it is in the order paper. So unless you drop or you just move our proposal.
But Chair, we can move a further amendment in accordance with the submissions and the contributions expressed and made by Honorable Dr. Nikal.
What further amendment do you want to
to separate, where were we again? Is it 43A, CA and CD, and drop CB?
So for this matter, you just move that you are dropping CB from your proposed amendment, so that on record.
Honorable Chair,
the further amendment to drop CB.
The further amendment to drop CB. So in order to be in line with those amendments that have already been moved and voted upon today.
Then for this matter, members, I want to put the question on clause 43, which is that clause 43 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Shamala, which is with the amendment of dropping CB. Correct? So will as many as our visa opinion say aye? Aye. And as many as our contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The ayes have it. Today we have a Mr. Nay, but he asked that is his right. Mr. Onles Sankok. Very well. So I put the global question. Members, I put the global question to clause 43, which is that clause 43 as amended be part of the bill. As many as of this opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 44.
I propose the question, which is that clause 44 be part of the bill. Proposed amendment by the chairperson and also Honorable Jennifer Shamala.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that clause 44 of the bill is amended as per the order paper. And Chair, this again, we are just cleaning up authority to directorate. I move, Chair.
Cleaning up, as you say, that is the import of the proposed amendment. On 44, members, I propose the question, which is that clause 44 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Chairperson, Sabina Chege. I put the question, which is that clause 44 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Chairperson. As many as of this opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. We had a proposed amendment again by the Honorable Jennifer Shamala, and now that the chairperson's amendment has been carried, then therefore your proposed amendment falls. I put the question, which is that clause 44 as amended be part of the bill. As many as of this opinion say aye. The ayes have it.
Clause 45.
I propose the question, which is that clause 45 be part of the bill. Please move your proposed amendment by Sabina Chege, and also we also have a proposed amendment by Jennifer Shamala.
Thank you, Chair. Again, Chair, I beg to move that clause 45 is amended as per the order paper. This again, we are just deleting authority to directorate. I move, Chair.
Oh, just cleaning. I propose the question which is that clause 45 be amended, proposed by the Honorable Sabina Cheget, the chairperson. I put the question which is that clause 45 be amended, proposed by the Honorable Chairperson. As many as are of this opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Shamala's proposal amendment falls automatically. And I move to put the question on clause 45, which is clause 45, as amended be part of the bill. As many as are of this opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it.
Clause 46.
I propose the question which is that clause 46 be part of the bill. Chair?
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that clause 46 of the bill is amended as per the order paper. Again, Chair, deleting authority to directorate. I move.
I propose the question which is that clause 46 be amended as proposed by the Chair. I put the question which is that clause 46 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Members, as many as of this opinion say aye. Aye. And as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. We have a proposed amendment by Honorable Shamala. This is. No, she also looks like a Shamila. A very beautiful name. Honorable Shamala Jennifer. And now that the committee has carried, it falls automatically. It's a matter of procedure. I move to put the question on clause 46, which is that clause 46 as amended be part of the bill. Members, as many as of this opinion say aye. Aye. And as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 47.
I propose the question which is that clause 47 be part of the bill. Honorable Chairperson.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that clause 47 of the bill is amended as per the order paper. On this one, we are deleting the word authority. Number 2, we are further providing for appeal mechanism where the directorate refuses to issue a license. I move, Chair.
Is a deletion or is an amendment? Is an order? Please be on record. It's a deletion and insertion, so it's an amendment. So I propose a question which is that clause 47 be amended as proposed by the chairperson. I move to put the question which is that clause 47 be amended as proposed by the chairperson. As many as of this opinion say aye, aye. And as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Before I put the global question, we had a proposed amendment on clause 47 by Honorable Jennifer Shamala, and which was a proposed deletion, and now it's falling simply because the chairperson's or committee amendment has carried, I think. And so I put the question to clause 47, which is that clause 47 as amended be part of the bill. As many as of that opinion say aye, aye. And as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 48.
I propose the question which is that clause 48 be part of the bill.
Thank you, Chair.
Chairperson.
I beg to move that clause 48 of the bill is amended as per the order paper. Again, Chair, we are deleting the word authority and replacing with the word directorate. I move.
I propose the question which is that clause 48 be amended as proposed by the Chair. I put the question which is that clause 48 be amended as proposed by the Chair. As many as are of that opinion say aye, aye. And as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. We had a proposed amendment by the Honorable Jennifer Shamala on clause 48. And so again it falls. I therefore move to put the question on clause 48, which is that for clause 48 as amended be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye, aye. And as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 49.
I propose the question which is that clause 49 be part of the bill. Proposed amendment by the chairperson and also by Jennifer Shamala, Honorable.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that clause 49 of the bill is amended as per the order paper. And again, Chair, we are deleting the word authority, replacing it with the word directorate. I move.
I put the question which is that clause 49 be amended as proposed by the Chair. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as are contrary, please say nay. The ayes have it. The chairperson's amendment has been carried, and therefore Honorable Shamala amendment falls automatically. I put a question which is at clause 49 as amended be part of the bill. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 50.
I propose the question which is at clause 50 be part of the bill. Chairperson, please move your proposed amendment.
Chair, I beg to move that the clause 50 is deleted. And Chair, this is a consequential amendment due to the deletion of authority. And Chair, you'll notice from 50, we will delete all the way. It's only that there's no shortcut.
With that, I propose yes, I propose the question which is that, yes, it is true, there's no shortcut. It's a matter of procedure. Yeah. I propose the question which is that clause 50 be deleted. I put the question which is that clause 50 be deleted. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Jennifer Shamala proposal which has the same effect falls. Next clause.
Clause 51.
I propose the question which is the clause 51 be part of the bill. Proposed amendment. It's a deletion.
Chair, I propose the clause 51. The clause 51 of the bill is deleted. Again, same reason. We have no authority. And I move.
I propose the question which is that clause 51 be deleted as proposed by the chair. I put the question which is that clause 51 be deleted as proposed by the chair. As many as are of this opinion say aye, and as many as are of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. The chairperson amendment, Honorable Shamala's amendment, have the next clause.
Clause 52.
I propose the question which is clause 52 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Chair, I move that clause 52 of bill is deleted. I move.
I propose the question which is that clause 52 be deleted as proposed by the chair. I put the question which is that clause 52 be deleted as proposed by the chair. Members, as many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as of that contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Same effect, Honorable Jennifer Shamala amendment.
Clause 53.
I propose the question which is that clause 53 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Chair, I move that clause 53 of the bill is deleted. I move.
I move to propose the question which is that clause 53 of the bill be deleted as proposed by the chair. I put a question which is that clause 53 be deleted as proposed by the chair. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Again, Honorable Shamala's proposed amendment of the same effect with the chair. Next clause.
Clause 54.
I propose the question which is that clause 54 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Chair, I move that clause 54 of the bill is deleted. I move.
I propose the question which is that clause 54 be deleted as proposed by the chair. I put the question which is that clause 54 of the bill be deleted as proposed by the chair of the committee. Members, as many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Same effect with Honorable Shamala proposed amendment. Next clause.
Clause 55.
I propose the question which is that clause 55 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Chair, I propose that clause 55 of the bill is deleted. I move.
I propose the question which is that clause 55 of the bill be deleted as proposed by the chair. As many as of that opinion say aye. I had proposed the question, and I saw Honorable, no one wants to contribute to this. So I put the question, as you said, there is no shortcut. I now put the question which is that clause 55 be deleted as proposed by the chair. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Same effect with the Honorable Shamala. And so we move to the next clause.
Clause 56.
I propose the question which is that clause 56 be part of the bill. Proposed amendment, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Chair. I propose that clause 56 of the bill is deleted, and I move.
You move. Members, let me propose before I say something. I propose the question which is at clause 56 be deleted, as proposed by the chair. Before I put the question, as some of you would wish, we cannot move clause by oath together, because I would have imagined if Honorable Sangok was here, would say today he was a man of nay, so a member of nay, and so we have to take clause by clause. That's why here I put the question, which is a clause 56 be deleted as proposed by the chair. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Jennifer Shamala's proposed amendment have the same effect. And so we move to the next clause.
Clause 57.
I propose the question, which is that clause 57 be part of the bill. Honorable Chairperson.
Thank you, Chair. I propose that clause 57 of the bill is amended as per the order paper. Chair, this amendment seeks to provide for penalty where offence under the provision is by a body corporate. I move, Chair.
With that import, of course, I move to propose the question, which is at clause 57 be amended as proposed by the chair. I have the first one as a member for Suba North to make a
Chair. Thank you for the opportunity. Chair, I do not have a problem with providing for a corporate body and for fining them, which is a good thing. My only concern is in relation to subclause 2. Where the chair says, when an offense, when an offense against this section is committed by a body corporate. Sorry, Chair. Actually, I've noticed the problem is not even in the amendment by the chair. It's actually in the bill.
In the bill.
Because the chair, and I was hoping the chair could have tidied up this, because the chair has made several proposed amendments with penalties, the ones that Honorable Sankok has been complaining about, but has not proposed an amendment to subclause 2, which says a person commits an offense under subsection 1 shall, upon conviction, be liable to a fine not exceeding 500,000, and this refers to offenses under this act. So it means we are providing for 2 frameworks. One which provides for the specific penalties that the chair has moved, and this one provides for the act in general. So, Chair, I don't know if it would be in order for me as the sponsor of the bill to then move an amendment to 2 so that it synchronizes with the amendments that the chair has proposed. And the chair, my amendment, which I can then put in writing, would be in 2, that a person who commits an offense under subsection 1 and where no other penalty is provided under this act shall, upon conviction, be liable to a fine not exceeding. Otherwise, this provides a conflicting framework, or my amendment could actually provide.
Honorable Mille, your concern, but I wish you can convince the chair of the committee if she can move if there's any cleaning up of the amendment, so that at least.
Chair, though my understanding is as the mover, I can actually on my feet.
Let's hear what she has to say. If you can agree, then because you're on the same wavelength and having left, we don't know why she had left the amendment that you're proposing. And Honorable Chairperson, you've heard the sentiments and the concern of Honorable Millie, who is the owner of the bill. You want her to do you want her to just state
Chair, yes.
concern again?
Chair, I just want to ask Honorable Millie to read 58 so that we know what she's recommending on 2, which I have no problem with. Whether again it would be a repeat of 58. And again, okay, and the fine might be because of the amount we can change. Or do we delete A and B, Millie?
Honorable Millie, just...
Chair, my suggestion is, and I agree with the Chair that what I'm suggesting then with that amendment...
Honorable Chair, you receive your seat as... Yes.
Yeah, would be similar to 58. So my suggestion, Chair, is either myself or the Chair could move an amendment to delete 57.2, because 57.2 contravenes all the amendments on penalties that the Chair has moved, because it provides a person who commits an offense under subsection 1 shall, upon for conviction, be liable to a fine not exceeding 500,000. Meaning, this one provides for 500,000, and the other ones provide for not more than 5 million or whatever. And each section, she has actually provided for penalties. So, as the mover, I could actually then move that we delete subsection 2, Chair, with your guidance.
Now, so that's at least, because now we will be visiting your proposed amendment, can we have the Chair do it? You being the owner of the, and again, also guide, this must be, if it has to be, if she agrees, that is, because she had already brought her proposed amendment for the committee, as the Chair of the committee, you move, but it has also to be, you need with the for cleanup and for record purpose, it also need to be in writing with time, just put it. Yes, let the Chair, having been convinced by the owner of the bill, move. Yes, Honor, give the Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Chair.
Concern on 57. It's good to make laws that are clean. Yes,
yeah, thank you, Chair. I actually support the recommendation from Honorable Millie, and so I'll further amend my amendment of 57 and also add that we delete to 57.2. Thank you, Chair. I move.
I move with that. Members, I propose the question, which is that clause 57 be further amended as proposed by the Honorable Chair, and again on record 2, delete 57.2. Yes, then I can have now Honorable Millie Odhiambo on record, so that at least you know on that.
Yes, Chair, I think that is neat and I support. I only wish the Chair, and then no, I'll leave with that. I think that's
then
okay.
I also order the Chair, this must also be written, you make a write-up on the same so that it is on the records. Of course, it's the House of Answered. Let me have another one member, Martin Yowin on the way, just on record. Yes, so that at least we know.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, very well.
Support, yeah.
Members, Honorable Shama, very beautiful name.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wish to state that I thank all members, and I'm really appreciative that we have sat for this long on this, what is a very important bill. Having stated that, with regards to Article 57, I wish we had also had the opportunity to have a conversation with and to deliberate with the Health Committee. But most importantly, I do wish to state in this particular Article 57 that if the Constitution of Kenya states, because my amendment is going to automatically fall, and I must make this statement, in Article 26(1), that every person has the right to life, and that life of a person in Article 26(2) begins at conception. And if indeed we have penalties for murder, for manslaughter, then how and why is it that a person who commits an offense with the deliberate destruction of an embryo will only pay a fine not exceeding 500,000 shillings?
Okay, very well. Members, I move to put with that. Thank you, Honorable Shamala. Jennifer. I put a question, which is that... No, it's a process. She's not withdrawing. It will come automatically in the event that ours is taken. Not ours. You, Honorable Chairpersons, is taken. I put the question, members, which is that clause 57 be further amended as proposed by the Honorable Chairperson. As many as of these of you say aye, and as many as of our congregation say nay, the ayes have it. Honorable Shamala's proposed amendment falls as she had already considered. I put a question which is at clause 57 as further amended part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next clause.
Clause 58.
I propose a question which is at clause 58 be part of the bill. Chair? Yes. And members, I wish we can now because I can see it.
Chair, you said that the proposal by Honorable Shamala falls on clause 57.
Yes.
Yet this is being a new clause for according to how it worded here, Honorable Chair.
No, it is. It is 57. Now that the chairperson's amendment has been moved, it has been carried. It falls that the other proposed amendment on the same falls automatically. Very well. It's good to clarify. I tell you, we are very attentive today. Thank you, member for Nafakolo, the majority whip. Yes, I propose a question which is at clause 58 be part of the bill, Chairperson.
Thank you, Chair. I propose that clause 58 of the bill is amended as per proposed on the order paper. And this amendment seeks to increase the general penalty in order to promote compliance. I move, Chair.
I propose a question which is that clause 58 be amended as proposed by the Chair. I see no interest. I put the question which is that clause 58 be amended as proposed by the Chair. As many as of this opinion say aye. And as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put a question which is that clause 58 as amended be part of the bill. As many as of that opinion say aye. And as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 59.
I propose a question which that clause 59 be part of the bill. Chairperson, move the amendment.
Thank you, Chair. I propose that clause 59 of the bill is amended as per the order paper. Chair, this is a consequential amendment due to deletion of the authority. I move.
I propose the question which is that clause 59 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Honorable Millie.
Whereas I support, I do notice that the Chair is also proposing to delete I, which states in respect of the number of children that may be created from the gametes of one donor through the application of assisted reproduction procedures. And Chair, I'm just wondering if the Chair can give a good justification, because we actually saw a case, I think it was in America or somewhere, where one person had produced almost 1,000 children. And there were, I don't know whether there are 1,000 or, but it was some ridiculous number. And now the children were all seeking, as we have agreed here, to know who their biological father is. And in those countries, some of them were actually seeking for support.
You are on 50 what? Honorable Miliadambo, we are on 59.
Yes, 59.
On 59, Honorable.
Yes, and in 59,
yes,
the Chair is seeking to delete, other than the consequential one she's talking about, she's also seeking, because in A, she's seeking to replace authority with directorate. She's seeking to delete D, which is for the number of times that a patient can be assisted, which makes sense, I agree, because you can go 1,000 times if you're having challenges. But I, which basically says that one person can donate their sperm even 1,000 times, that means we can have 1,000 children from one parent, from one father. Is there a possibility of people marrying their relatives? So I'm just wondering whether the Chair has seen that and whether she wants to.
Chair, can you make a comment on that? And then we move. I can see we have few clauses on this and members are getting.
Yes, Chair. I just want to inform the House that this is the role of that the Cabinet Secretary had been given. Cabinet Secretary, in consultation with authority, may make regulations, generally for the better carrying out of the provision of this Act and without prejudice to the generality of foregoing, may make regulations. So, the Cabinet Secretary, the first one we were deleting is D. How would the Cabinet Secretary make regulations for the number of times that a patient can be given assisted reproductive services? This is a health matter, and we felt, okay. So I just wanted to do the justification of both. So the first one was number, so the Cabinet Secretary may not determine because this is a health matter. On I is in the respect of the number of children that may be created from the gamete of one donor through the application of assisted reproductive procedures. Again, the committee had felt this was much more of a medical issue that the medical authority can be able to make the decision and not the Cabinet Secretary. That's why we were removing it from that being a responsibility of a cabinet secretary, for it to be a responsibility of the medical practitioner who is trusted with giving assisted reproductive.
Honorable Millie.
Chair, the reason why I'm saying that the cabinet secretary should make this decision, I can, as a donor, give, as a sperm donor or an egg donor, I can decide to give my sperms in Nairobi. The medical practitioner in Nairobi will not know how much I've given my sperms, or donated my sperms in Kisumu, Nakuru, Moyale, Garissa, and the rest of the country. So in the end, we can actually be having one person giving birth to 2 million children, Chair, because there is nothing stopping a young, vibrant man from donating many times. So why can't we then limit how many times one man or one woman can donate their eggs or sperms? Because it is, I'm not talking about imaginary situations. There's a country where actually it was an issue, where the children were now seeking, because the parent happened to be a rich person, that they wanted to identify and they want to inherit. And people are likely to do such things. Very so well. There must be a limit. I would urge the chair to let this one stay.
Okay, then Honorable, there's this member wants.
Yes.
Just a statement, Honorable.
Yes. Yes,
no,
Madam.
You cannot say. I've not given you. Let the maid. Doctor, I can't see you because you're raising your hand. Okay, there you go.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, as we legislate, Chair, and particularly given the contributions that we are making, I would like to go on record, Chair, that we cannot really continue in terms of legislation to keep defining what is dealing with children, with parenthood, with family as a health issue. Chair, I find it a big challenge that we are talking about those who are being assisted to have children. Chair, where is the child protection? Chair, how are we even talking about how 1,000 children are going to come? So, Chair, I would like to go on record that it is extremely important for us to understand that as we make legislation, let us make legislation that deals contextually with problems and seeks to push values and solve issues that will help us. Thank you, Chair.
Let me hear the comment by Honorable Shamala.
Thank you, Madam Chair. With regards to the deletion of, is it Article, it's Section 59 on provisions on delegated powers. Certain subsections. I'm deeply concerned generally with several of the amendments that have been carried forward, because now we're talking about putting into regulations issues with regards how many times one can donate various, they're called, the name, it's my mind is, sugar levels are low. And I'm beginning to ask myself, indeed, all these amendments have been passed this morning, and some of these things I think are so crucial that they should be in the substantive law. I don't think that issues of donors, of ova, of gametes, etc., are matters that should be left to regulations.
Let's go to, let me hear the chair, just a comment by the chair, and then I put the question to 59. Chair, you've heard the comments by the honourable members. What do you have to say on this?
Chair, you know, we are in a field that is not regulated. We just want to make sure that whatever is being done is going to have regulations. Actually, Honourable Millie, what she was requesting that we do not delete I, just to avoid the issues of one person. But remember, again, it is voluntary. That people just do it out of, it's not commercial. But anyway, for the comfort, I can drop the deletion of I. But for D,
deletion of
I. Because, you cannot again come up with the
So
number
let
of
me-
times.
No, please, can you be on record that you are... You are dropping I.
I'm dropping the deletion of I. But for it, it stays there because, this person is being assisted to reproduce.
Okay,
So how can you
just
again
to be on
regulate how many
record.
times? It's not possible to know. Okay.
Very well. On clause 59, I propose the question, which is that on clause 59, from the chairperson, she is proposing deletion to drop the deletion of I. Yes, she's on record. So with that one, members, I move to put the question, which is that clause 59, as further amended by the Honorable Chair, be part of the bill. As many as have that been say aye. And as many as have been say nay. Yes, it. Again, I order that Honorable Chairperson please put this one in writing, because of course we are not so non-zad. And I never move to put the question, which is clause 59 as further amended be part of the bill. As many as have that been say aye. And as many as have been say nay. The ayes have it. Next clause now.
You want to report? New clause 3A.
I propose a question which is that new clause 3A be now read a second time. Mover to move the second reading. New clause 3A.
Thank you. Chair, I propose that the bill be amended by inserting the following new clauses immediately after clause 3. That is the new clause 3A. The bill does not have objects and purposes. It is imperative to provide the same. That's why we got the new clause 3A, for the bill to have objects and purposes. I move, Chair.
Propose the question which is new clause 3A be now read a second time. I put the question which is that new clause 3A be now read a second time. Will as many as have that been say aye? Aye. And as many as have been say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question which is that new clause 3A be part of the bill. See no interest. I move to put the question which is that new clause 3A be part of the bill. As many as have that been say aye? Aye. And as many as have been say nay? The ayes have it. Honourable members, because of interest of time, I wish to report the progress on this.
It's the mover.
The mover of the bill, please, we need to move the reporting. Mover of the